Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of PCP. I am Mage, and I'm introducing everyone this time for some reason. And I am joined by Digi.
Real fag hours every Sunday.
Let's welcome Nate.
Gas all majorities. Thank you.
Wow.
Hey Tom, are you alive? Are you with us?
I am alive. I've been revived from the dead.
Huzzah!
Oh yeah, welcome back.
And finally, for once, he was not late. Ben Saint.
Me being late is a meme that needs to die.
That's also true, though.
That
it's
was the
also
old.
real.
No, that was the old me. He's dead now. He's dead.
Well, prove us wrong, Ben.
I did. I have been doing so.
One is not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You could be an outlier.
Ben was on time. Ben was the most on time for our meetup for the Princess Mononoke film.
That's because of the buses. We already established this.
Serious question, guys. When was the last time I was late for anything? Tell me. Fucking face me.
Probably for your period,
say it
you
to me
pregnant
in my
whore.
face and not
There.
online, and see what happens, fucker. What'd you say?
The problem is, Ben, is that your macro ratio of late to not late is still skewed heavily in one direction.
I know.
That's true.
You can
I know.
recover that.
I fucked up a lot. But I've...
So what was it, Ben? What changed that made this huge revelation in your life that you'll never relate to anything again? What was it?
I didn't say I'd never relate to anything again.
Oh, no.
I've been pretty good, and I think I deserve money.
I tell you what, Ben, we'll start believing you if you start showing up comically early all the time. Then that will cancel out the
lame. That's lame.
Almost
Consider all
as
the
lame as
time
being late
you've
all
cost
the time.
everyone else by being late. You need to spend that time by sitting in an isolation cube and doing nothing.
I need to pay back the debt.
Exactly. Yeah. You've got a big time debt that has to be paid back. That's what it is.
I see. Isn't that the plot of that movie?
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's literally the Justin Timberlake movie In Time.
In Time, that's the one.
Where the entire, all of the dialogue is time puns.
That sounds awesome.
Maybe.
Well, here we are on another episode of PGP, the Pokemon Go podcast. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm almost level 25. I'm doing real good.
I'm so close to 30. So close to 30.
Unsubscribed.
Oh man, I caught my first Shuckle just today.
I got one of those.
I also got a Mawile in a raid. It is a piece of absolute trash and completely worthless, but I'm glad to have it because I love Mawile.
Yeah, Mawile rules.
Well, you're over there gathering shuckles. I'll be over here gathering shekels.
Yeah.
No!
Making mad dosh.
Is that in any way the pun of Shuckle's name? Other than that, what does it mean? If it's they're always puns, right?
You shuck, seafood, right? Like when you shuck clams or
whatever. You shuck corn. Oh yeah, you shuck clams too.
What is shucking?
Yeah,
so when you suck out the innards, I think, basically.
No, it's just when you remove the shell. It's just when you remove the shell from something.
Oh, okay. So I guess if you put your mouth to one of Shuckle's many holes and you just suck and you'll get the goop out of there. That's shuck and shuckle. All right.
This is the worst episode already.
I shucked some eggs last night. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So pretty much my entire identity, and this is what's changed. This is why I'm never going to be late anymore. My entire identity has been erased and has been replaced with keto. I am all and only a keto guy now. That's all there is to me. So if you liked anything else about me, I'm sorry to disappoint you. But that is
very exciting. I do want to know more about that.
So it's pretty interesting. But let me tell you, I'm a little embarrassed to tell this story just because of the names involved. I made a recipe for some bread substitute. It is called oopsie bread, which is terrible, and I don't like to say it. It is also called cloud bread, which I find much more
oopsie bread
aesthetic.
sounds like something that would be made out of children's
aborted fetuses. That's where I'm going with that.
Well, okay, I was thinking more when kids shit their pants and you have those oopsie underwear. God. That it's when you're in transition from from diapers up to regular underwear.
I'm transitioning from diapers to big boy underwear.
Wait, what are those?
That's me.
Pull-ups or pull-ups?
Yeah, pull-ups.
Yeah, pull-ups.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay, so Oopsie Bread, a.k.a. Cloud Bread. I'm going to call it Cloud Bread from now on because I like that
that's
better.
way cooler.
Yeah,
that is, yeah.
Cloud Bread is made of, I mean, it's basically eggs and some cream cheese. Like, it's basically eggs and cream cheese, and you whip it up and you bake it. And I was really
I assumed it was some kind of, like, crowdsourced peer-to-peer bread network.
we get this from the cloud. It's peer-to-peer bread is what I'll call it from now on. The point is, though, that it sucked ass, and it did not taste like bread. It literally just tasted like eggs and cream cheese. So, I don't know.
Well, that's a pretty good taste.
Like, I didn't like it. Everyone hyped it up. Like, all the keto, it's like a really popular keto thing, and I was like, wow, there really must be something to this, because everyone is into this shit. And turns out, it's kind of gross. So that was disappointing.
Nate, what about eggs and cream cheese in combination sounds good to you?
My dad always used to make eggs, scrambled eggs with cream cheese.
Yeah. Listen. It's fine. Like, it's not that the taste was not vile or anything, but like baked into like this like fluffy, bubbly cookie. I don't know. I didn't like it one bit. I didn't like it one bit.
Are we supposed to use it like bread?
I was like, I'm gonna make this bread. I'm gonna like put butter on it. I like put some bread and butter, and but it's just like the thought of putting butter on this like cream cheese is like, ugh, gross. No thanks.
Isn't that kind of the whole conceit of keto, though? Sounds kind of gross because it's just like so much fat and protein and like no carbs. I mean, it sounds gross.
Let me tell you about gross. I have been drinking straight heavy cream. For like the past week, and it's it's good. I know
it's a keto thing, but
I put stevia in it, and I put cocoa powder in it, and I shake it all up.
You know your goal is not to just like consume as much fat as possible.
Yes,
right?
it fucking is. Yes, it fucking is. I am not memeing on you right now.
Well, Ben, so you still have a calorie count for the day, right? That you want to achieve. That's like the goal.
I mean, technically, yeah.
Okay.
Calorie counts are more of a suggestion.
I mean, the most important thing is to become fat adapted. And enter ketosis, which, by the way, I am in deep ketosis. I have been peeing on strips, and they have been turning deep purple, like
you
wine.
shouldn't need the strips because your piss should smell like a dinosaur if you're doing it right.
Well, I like the strips because it's very satisfying that they turn purple. Listen, I am a fat burning furnace. I am so deep in ketones. I am so many ketones that my pee melts bread like acid. It just tears
Fantastic.
through. Yeah, I'm no longer human.
Guys, I gotta tell you,
I have become keto.
That I also found the answer when it comes to food. I don't remember if I told the story on a previous PCP, because now that they're all formless, I have no idea what we talked about. But so when Ben and Devu first moved in with me, Nate had heavily advised us to use crock pots. He was like, crock pots are the answer, because you can just put a bunch of shit in it, like you can just put a bunch of healthy shit like chicken and vegetables and just leave it on, and then you come and you eat it, and it's just there. It's around all day. The problem with the crock pot, though, is that it takes like 8 hours between you making it and it actually being ready, and you probably won't make it until you're hungry, because that inspires you to think about it. So what would happen is we would make a crock pot, we'd eat that first glorious go, but then you can't just like let it sit out. Like, you can't turn it off because it'll get gross, but if you leave it on, it will also get gross because it'll overcook and turn into like this weird mush. And no one ever wanted to clean the thing after it was done, so it would just always be a disgusting mess on the counter. And eventually we gave up on crockpot because we then discovered deep frying, and then that was the answer. So all we did was deep fry chicken all the time, chicken and pork. We just constantly, like, it was all panko, all just, egg or flour egg panko deep fry, and that was like every day. But the problem with deep frying is you can't really make that much stuff in it, and it all tastes exactly the same because it's just deep fried. So now I found the real answer, and that is steaming. And I found this answer because of the fact that there's an amazing Asian grocery store near me that has, like, basically all Asian food is either noodles or some form of steamed buns. And so I just started getting, like, all these different varieties of frozen steamed buns. And all you gotta do is just boil water, put them in a steamer, and then put a lid on it for like 7 or 8 minutes, and you've got these unbelievably delicious steamed buns of different denominations, whether it be like wontons or fucking
you guys are making me hungry.
Like
me too.
Pot stickers, just basically anything could be steamed, but it's just like a piece of flour filled with some kind of ingredient. So you just get a whole variety of different fillings, and now you've got breakfast every day, and it has been amazing and healthy, and it's made my life better.
I have not solved the food question in my life. It's absolutely it's a clusterfuck.
I've temporarily solved my food question.
Yeah?
Eggs.
I don't like eggs, so I can't.
I fry eggs, but I also put like what's the word? Okay, it's not garlic. It's onion. There we go. Onion and eggs. Egg onion omelet.
Omelets are great. Good. I make omelets all the time. And they're delicious. It's
fried onions turn sweet, and I love it.
Yeah, they do. They're great.
Tom's been living with me for a week and a half, and I have not seen him make one omelet, and he's claiming that he makes them all the time. I'm calling
I did,
foul.
But I have this weird aversion to using your shit. I want to be as like non-existent in your house.
Well, you're free to use the. I mean, if you use the pan and then you clean the pan, I will have no idea that you used the pan. Like that would.
Yeah. Well, what I've been eating right now is because again I was planning on not being in a house, so I have like. I have
loads of Huel.
Yeah, protein bars and Huel, and it's working out pretty good. I don't even mind it. It's a good solution.
Wait, did you say Huel?
Huel.
What is that?
It's like Soylent, but not soy based.
Oh yeah, you told me.
It's like a meal supplement. You just it's like you put some powder, you mix it with water, and it's got all the calories you need, and it's nice and nutritionally balanced.
I sincerely want to be post food and consume things like Huel
because
the
Huel. Honestly, watching Tom drink it, I'm like, you know what? If I was a faggot, I would love this.
It's so efficient. And that's the number one thing I care about.
Maybe I'll get into it because
it wastes time.
I'm starting to be broke, and so
yeah. Oh, okay.
No, let me tell you, you're gay enough for Huel. You just don't realize it yet.
Well, I just like to taste things.
Yeah, that's my curse as well. It's the tasting things is, well, that's secondary. Number one is how lazy I am. Like, I've got eggs in my room right now, but instead yesterday I ordered some eggs just like from a place, and like they were relatively healthy, but I could have just cooked them and it would have been faster and cheap.
Food. This is literally takes maybe 15 seconds.
So, that's the way. That's the way for me.
Like Huel is literally just a powder and water,
I've been taught.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm ordering it today, Tom. I make a solemn fucking vow to you. I'm buying it today.
I've been talking for a while, and I think that no one has been able to hear me, and I'm pretty sure. No, it's fine. It's fine. I saved my old audio. Yeah, I moved my microphone and the cord fell out, so my first part of my audio is saved. I've started a new recording. We'll sync at the end. I just wanted to let everyone know that I had really great contributions to this conversation that you will never get to hear, and I feel sorry for you, viewer.
No, I haven't heard you since I talked about deep frying. So.
You'll never know. I'll take the secrets to my grave.
Wow.
Well, is deep frying still kosher with the keto lifestyle?
I guess so, but like the breading, I mean, why would you you deep fry for breading, right? Like, there's no point deep frying like just meat or whatever. So not really. Although I do make eggs all the time. I fry them in butter, and it's fucking sick.
When my friend Don San did keto, it was pretty much exclusively either just him like grilling chicken and just eating that with like with lettuce, or going to like fast food places and just getting burgers with lettuce wraps.
Man,
that was basically his entire
when I was in
diet.
town, when I was in Boston hawking my comics to store owners. I went to Tasty Burger, which was not the same one that we ate at when we went and saw Princess Mononoke, but same chain. And I got a gorgonzola burger on a lettuce wrap. And boy, it was almost worth the $8 it cost me.
I'm really shocked, Nate, that you hang out in Fit Boy communities and haven't heard about this. But if you go to basically any place that sells burgers and you ask them to replace the bun with lettuce, they will do that. Some places even just call
about this.
Some place, like if you go to Hardee's and you just say like, "Give me a no carb version of the burger," they'll just like wrap it in lettuce, and that's what they give you.
Damn, I should do that every fucking time. I've been throwing away my goddamn games for nothing.
I found out about it at In-N-Out. In-N-Out was the first place I learned.
So do they? replace the wrap with the lettuce or the burger with the lettuce?
They
bun.
replace the bun.
The bun.
It's no
Oh
bun.
god,
You
imagine
wrap
if they
burger
replaced
in
the
lettuce.
meat with lettuce.
Oh,
Disgusting.
That'd be ideal. It'd be
okay,
ideal.
but now I want that wrap. This sounds
It's
good.
pretty
I like
good.
wraps.
And-
Yeah,
I,
gotta try one
And
immediately.
they're
Whenever
more
I go
likely
to
to give you
McDonald's,
better
I just
lettuce
get
too,
wraps.
because they're gonna need like the big leafy shit to
So a
actually
thing that I
contain
did
the
not
burger,
know
you know?
about keto
Yeah.
is you are supposed to eat protein, you know, like based on your weight or your lean mass. You are supposed to eat enough protein to maintain your muscle mass. However, you should not go over that amount, because eating protein in excess of that will become glucose, and you know, basically eating too much protein is basically like eating carbs, more or less.
So is keto any kind? It doesn't sound like much of a muscle gain diet. It is
I mean, I'm
specifically a fat
I'm
loss
sure you
diet.
could
Is that
gain
accurate?
muscle on it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's mostly meant to make you lose weight, like very
the point-
rapidly. Like if you're doing it properly, you should burn
The
weight.
purpose
super
of
fucking
ketosis
fast.
is that it is burning fat instead of other things. So yeah, I mean, you probably could gain muscle on it,
Alright.
but I don't think it's not designed with that in mind. And that's
I was doing for a while to lose weight intermittent fasting. That was working
intermittent
really
fasting is they say like combining that with keto is pretty effective. And I realized that I just kind of intermittent fasted like without even meaning to for like much of my life, because I just
well, that's because you.
what's intermittent
it's when you just
fasting?
eat
It's
like
when
one
you-
meal a day, basically, or stuff.
Oh,
or
okay.
just
Yeah, my
don't
mom recently
eat for a
mentioned
day
that.
or two.
Yeah, well, that's specifically called OMAD, or 1 meal a day. That's like the hardcore version.
Oh.
Eating one meal a day is something that I
okay.
just do naturally some of the time, because I just don't feel hungry when I wake up almost any morning, and then like often I just won't think to eat until like late.
I'm a terrible stress eater. Like when I get stressed, all I can think about is having something in my.
Yeah,
That's what I do too.
That happens.
That's why I'm
to,
really
that
bad
happens
at
to
this.
me. That happens to me as well.
Guys,
If I'm in a good mood, I can do it.
you know what this episode is making me realize is that we are aging fucks.
Yeah, dog.
That's true.
It
That's
took
like,
you
true.
just
think
now
about
to
it.
realize.
Well, I'm just thinking about how the other half of the PCP is. I don't know, Mage. How old are you again?
26.
Okay,
Oh
so you're
man,
my
speaking
age.
of
So,
which, you got that
like,
creepy question on your cat. You're asked, what's it called?
Yeah,
Someone
curious cat.
like they could have
Curious
just
cat.
asked you your age, but they didn't ask you your age. They asked you, "Are you a minor or 18 plus?" And I was like, "What a creepy way to ask how old someone is."
Well, I want to know the follow-up question before I answer this one, sir.
Yes.
But the rest of the PCP is younger than us, and so when you've got someone like Munchie on here, he might be talking about rambunctious fun things, but when it's all the old fucks, we're just like, my diet.
know what?
I'm not eating carbs
You know-
anymore.
We did talk about Pokemon Go.
You know what? I don't think. I think.
But you
We're
know
not
who
a
plays
lost
Pokemon
cause.
Go? My mom plays
Ah,
Pokemon
shit.
Go.
Well, so does
Well.
Munchie. You know, I disagree, because Munchie talks about how, you know, he lives his body is always aching and he's always in pain, and about how he and his girlfriend have stopped drinking sugary sodas. So they're just as
Well,
old
that's
and
good.
worthless as
How
us.
much you got a girlfriend? Oh, that's nice.
We're all decaying machinery.
Munchie's definitely like got the old snake condition. He's just like aging rapidly. He's probably like physically older than all of us. So we. Just
I mean,
don't even
he
know.
he was bigger than me when he was like a quarter of my age. So you know, or wait, the math doesn't quite check out there, but you know what I mean.
Munchie being a clone of Big Boss makes a lot of things make a lot more sense to me.
the true clone. He was the one.
He's a clone of a
destined
fictional
son.
character. Ridiculous.
Something went wrong in the process. Hey, I've got a topic to bring up. Just
All right.
overall, I thought about what to call it, and I have a title for this topic,
Oh,
and it is
boy.
simply the Cal Arts question. What's
all right.
what's to be done about this Cal Arts situation, and how are we going to stop the influx?
Let's define our
into our
terms.
society.
Why don't you lay out exactly what
Sure.
you think the Cal Arts problem is?
Sure. Well, it's more of a question, because I don't really know if I believe it is as pervasive a problem as some people think it is. Is it an accurate statement to say that like the animation industry of, I guess, the West, but like America, Canada, etc., is like coming to be dominated just by specifically the Cal Arts art style? And is this like squeezing out other options, or possibly entirely just through its own like merit? Or maybe it's like really easy to draw, so people really like it. Obviously, that's the case with like Steven Universe, because they fuck up the perspective all the time and sizes.
I don't have a clear answer for that, but I will speak on behalf of anime real quick, and just that for the most part, like the vast majority of anime studios are all crammed in the same part of Tokyo. And it's just like the area that's like the cheapest to live in and to have, shit set up.
Sure.
But as a result, the anime industry is ludicrously incestuous. And this is why so much of it is just the same shit over and over again. It's the same people making it, the same people who are teaching the new people how to make it. And so, like, I would say that if Cal Arts is just a place where not only are the most popular shows coming from there, but the people who are learning how to make cartoons are being taught by those people. So like
that's basically the problem.
Yeah, and it creates this. But like, it's funny because people will blame like Cal Arts or something, but it's like if you want to solve this problem, the only way to do it is to build another school and just teach them something different.
The thing is, though, people have the wrong assumption that like stuff like Steven Universe and Gumball are Cal Arts, but that's not true. Rebecca Sugar never studied in the Cal Arts, and if you look at the pilot, her actual art style shows there, and it's very different from what it has become. And Gumball was made, I think, in the UK, so it's not even in America.
Gumball doesn't even look like the other shows that I've seen. First of all, I don't actually know what Cal Arts is. I just know that there's a bunch of shows that kind of look like Steven Universe coming out, and to me it's obvious that it's just because Steven Universe is popular.
No, that's
so
not
like when
true,
people are like, "Oh, Cal Arts," I'm just like, "Why?"
There are things that were out before Steven Universe that
Adventure Time and whatnot.
What's that one about the woods?
But Adventure Time doesn't look
Star
like
vs. the Force of Evil. What's the one about the kids of the fucking woods? Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls.
Yeah. Was that before Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Gravity Falls was, Star Versus was not.
And then Sans.
I mean, to
although
me,
not
it seems
real
like
Sans, just the way that fans draw Sans.
And of course, the new Thundercats thing as well.
Right.
Very much that.
But to me, it's painfully obvious that like it's not about whether or not it's Cal Arts. It's just shows that are copying the thing that's popular, which is what which all shows have always done.
They're copying the style that's popular. I mean, it's also just like efficient. Like I'm sure it's a very efficient way to produce a show. So like it's not all it's not
it's
all
the same
about
reason all the anime looks the same.
Let's just take it. I mean, I don't know that that's true, Mage, but I'll just believe you that Steven Universe had nothing to do with Cal Arts. But nonetheless, it is this art style that is called like the Cal Arts style, and maybe that's a completely wrong name.
There
just
was,
for the sake of clarification.
The Tumblr style, which was like people with fucking Animal
That's
Crossing,
what I call this
Animal
art style,
Crossing
like,
noses.
Sure,
but that was not like a
noses
mainstream that was not like on TV.
I mean, when Steven Universe came out, that was literally why all of us didn't want to watch it, was because we kept saying, "Oh, it's just Tumblr art. Like it looks like like Tumblr made a show." And so, like to ascribe this aesthetic to Cal Arts when it just looks like what Tumblr was already doing. And I mean, this is way more pervasive in the world of comics. Like even before Steven Universe, if you go to a comic store and you just flip through like any new series, they all fucking look like Tumblr art. And it's just because people get
they're all people from Tumblr drawing them,
probably,
right?
Yeah,
and they're all just influenced by each other because it's a very insular culture. So like those people just come up copying the designs of other people, and then they blow up really fast because even though there's nothing unique about their art style, because it is piggybacking on something that's already big, they can blow up really fast. So we got like all these probably 18 to 20 somethings like just copying the style of Steven Universe and riding that wave, and then as soon as that's not what's in anymore, the ones who have adapted and got their own style and like are doing something meaningful might have a continued career. The ones who are just gonna look old hat in a couple years are gonna fall off the wave.
One thing is with this is that I feel very similar about these shows that I do with like 3D animation in theaters and stuff. They all look like Pixar. And I'm just on both fronts. I'm tired of the sameness. I just like we have these mediums can do anything. The aesthetic can be anything, and we've like pigeonholed both of these mediums now into very samey looking shit. And it's very frustrating. And I want to do more stuff, especially with Pixar, because Pixar's been going on for what, like going on 30 years now, that it's just been the same shit. Right. Like, please do something new. God.
And I guess it's just the power of the zeitgeist. It just has people all wrapped up, and they're just seeing what's working. And
that was what made the Lego movie so fucking exciting, was that it looked nothing like that, and it was like, whoa, you can do that. But
how much of this is just the natural? I mean, like, there's always trends, right? For a while, like Disney animation and who's that? Don Bluth. Like they were the thing for a while, and now it's this. You know, trends come and go.
Did you guys know that the person who made Iron Giant studied CalArts?
Was that true?
Yeah.
Wait, was that not Don Bluth?
How do you know?
Because I researched it, because it was a hot topic.
Sorry, I said how do you know? I meant to say what do you know? As in like, what do you know? Okay. So ignore that. That's pretty cool. I guess, I mean, that was made in what, like the early 2000s or like the 90s or something?
I mean, CalArts has been around forever. So like, they're like the premier animation school.
I mean, I think that
Vin Diesel is in the Iron Giant?
What? Where'd you get that?
I think a lot of people who like look at art in general and like see this sameness, like,
guys, Vin Diesel voiced the titular Iron Giant.
That makes sense.
Yeah, is that true?
I mean, he's also the voice of Groot.
Is that how we got the voice for Groot? They're just like, he can be this like silent, only says a few words character, and like give him a fuck ton of money for like saying 3 words. God,
you know what? That reminds me. I know I've told this story before, but just on now that it's Vin Diesel, it brings a whole new perspective to me and my buddy John watched the Iron Giant in college, and we both just watched it. It was a real emotional thing, and it just ended as I look over at him after the Iron Giant sacrificed himself, and my friend John just looks with an intense gaze and pounds on the desk and says, "I feel so sorry for this giant metal man!" And now I'm just picturing Vin Diesel just bursting into flames high above
I think about
Ohio
I feel
whatever.
So sorry for this giant metal man every day. I think about that story every fucking day.
What an iconic line, John. You really did it.
I think that people underestimate how much influence, like, the environment where people learn how to do something, like, affects what their product is. Where, like, the reason Hollywood movies are all the same is because they're all fucking made in Hollywood. Like, it's the same influences, the same people asking for the same thing.
I understand why it happens. I just don't like it. I want to
it's unfortunate, but like, the thing is that people complaining about it will never change it. The only way you can change it is by building something different. And, like, unfortunately, when you do build something different, it's going to be really hard to make that new thing the zeitgeist, because, like, you can make something new and it's either going to be treated as, oh, this is too niche to promote to anybody, so we're just going to bury it, or you can be, like, Homestuck and just have some insane luck and, like, make something that's totally unique and distinctive, and then it spawns its own, and then there's literally 500 fucking Homestuck ripoff webcomics because it was an influence for this other generation of kids.
Like,
and again, that wave is over, and the only people who survived it are people like Munchie and you know, who've evolved their art continually to not just look like Homestuck, you know?
Yeah.
Granted, Rowdy Fuckers Cop Killer's art is just Homestuck.
Everyone
art,
says that, and it is a complete overstatement. The Rowdy Fuckers art style is as multifaceted as the special snowflakes in the community that contribute to it. They're each one is a beautiful star shining in the Rowdy Fuckers in the acid green sky. What the fuck am I talking about? Fuck you, Tishy.
I don't know, but that sounds good.
Look, all I know is I clicked one time on the Boru, and every single image was like some Victorian building, like with a Photoshop filter over
okay,
it.
That was
sure.
Okay. Well, that's a bit
that's
pervasive.
You know, we took inspiration. You go with what works.
Why
reinvent the wheel?
I guess Digi's right.
I guess what I'm saying is that
you sit around
I'm for the CalArts style, and I want it to stay. I want it to stick around forever because it works. And why should we come up with anything new?
I think people are making a mountain out of a molehill.
I
think so too.
Yeah, I mean, we're just in it right now, and I do think this is a natural cycle that'll probably phase, and
out of nowhere, Steam just opened on my computer, and I think I had accidentally clicked on it at the start of the episode, and 30 minutes later, it decided to just come alive.
Maybe it was doing updates. Maybe that's what was happening.
Yeah, it sometimes does that. Yeah.
Steam's a tricky beast. I saw an article like yesterday or something that was like it was called something approximately what the fuck has Steam made in the last 10 years or has Valve made in the last 10 years or something. And it was like nothing. And I mean these people were like mad that Steam like makes so much money or Valve makes so much money despite not producing games.
Is it not obvious that when they made Steam, they realized that this was just a way more important venture than making video games? Like,
well, sure,
can they at least make Steam better?
Yeah.
Because the context of this was that Steam is rolling out like an updated chat client, but it is worlds worse than like Discord or like TeamSpeak or any of the or even Skype, all the established ones. It's super bare bones. Like I think this person was just like, Steam, this is embarrassing. Like, or Valve, what are you doing? You're way behind the curve.
This speaks to something that really fucking frustrates me. Just in like. Technology and services and stuff in general. It's like, I really hate how all these companies are like, this is a really popular thing, we're going to make our own version of it. Like, I really want to see less copying and more integration. Like, wouldn't it be great if Steam just integrated Discord instead of having to build their own version?
Would make perfect sense.
There is
share an audience.
Some integration there.
Well, that's all on Discord side, I think. Like, it's just set up to like recognize games and stuff.
Yeah, that might be true. It can.
I mean, I'm not just. This isn't just Valve. Like, tons of companies do this. Like, when something's popular, we need to build our own
EA has
version.
Origins, and it
with Origin, and then fucking Uplay from Ubisoft, and it's just like, come on, guys, come on.
It's just short-sightedness on like with the whole fucking Origin thing. It's like they just thought, oh, we don't want to have to give up part of the market share to this thing, and surely we can do just as good. But it's like, if you are not going to make it legitimately a better product, no one is going to want it. You know, like
yeah, that's true.
Like if you have to pay Steam or whatever, and you're not making as much money, like, it'll be worth it because there will be more consumers. Yep. And that's why it's so weird when they make decisions like that. To me, granted, maybe there's some way that even if they have less consumers, they're making more money. If that's true, then it's
possible.
Maybe that's what the theory is.
A lot of those games that are available on Origin are also available on Steam. So what's the point?
Right.
They want to get their cut. And EA puts all their new releases on Origin. Like, when I got Mass Effect 3 when it first came out, it was only on Origin. It was really annoying.
Inquisition is only on Origin as well. That's the only reason I have it. Well, and Sims 4.
Like I don't mind people making new platforms and stuff like that, or like making their own version if they bring something new to the table. Like GOG, Good Old Games, they have a service, but it's totally different than Steam. It's for like spotlighting older games that you can't get anymore, like porting over DOS games and stuff to run on Windows, and they don't have any copy protection. So like, if you get something on GOG, you can use it wherever you want. And like their client is completely optional. You can just go to their website and download the exe and run that, or you can use their client to have it all in one place. So like, it's like Steam, but it serves a totally different purpose. It just takes a Steam model and adapts it to a new product.
Okay, now
that's good.
To be fair, this in no way redeems EA in any sort of manner. But
EA can get fucked.
No. I just want to say, they do offer free games from time to time, and that's how I got like Sims 2, and they had like Dragon Age, the very first one, Origins, for free for a while as well. So they sometimes have some good games, and I have like a library full of games I'm never gonna play on Origin.
Right.
So.
That sounds like it's not even a compliment in that case. By the way, I'm fucking tripping balls because Tom is literally directly above me, and I can hear him talking when he talks, but I hear him like 1 second before I hear him.
I can do the same thing with you, and I'm just like trying not to think about it too much.
Yeah.
Just roll with it, guys. Just roll with it.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Just endure it.
Anybody else got like? I mean, I prepared like a bunch of topics that I'm just gonna roll out on these episodes.
I talk about my adventure into Boston, hawking my shit.
Oh, I want to know all about that. Yeah.
Well, before we even move on, though, because that last conversation tied into this long ass conversation me and Tom had yesterday, just about like the shifting technologies going on right now, and like how basically like it seems as though the big companies who like control everything on the internet are finally starting to get their reckoning. Like, I don't know if you guys heard about like Facebook tried to make some kind of deal with China, and it fell through, and they lost like ass tons of money. And then you've got like Google, who
they lost $100 billion of their net worth, as I recall, and
20% lost to the nation of China. Oh,
Facebook.
Okay.
No, Facebook did.
Yeah,
which was about 15% of their net worth, I think.
And then Google has been losing tons of money because, like, the EU is, like, really putting their foot down about, like, hey, if you're going to record everything that everybody says at all times, you got to tell them that. And they're like, oh, fuck. And that's why all these TOSs are changing and shit. But, like, me and Tom were talking about how Google... Tom, please reveal what they did... about a month ago to their slogan.
Okay. Yeah, they removed the "Don't be evil" clause from their mission.
Wait, hold on. There was a "Don't be evil" clause?
That was what they were known for. Like, Google fanboys used to constantly talk about how, like, their whole principle was "Don't be evil." That was, like, literally their motto, and they removed it from their thing.
Boy.
Okay, that's extremely ominous. But like, I thought it was like de facto removed previously or something. I mean, I
don't know what you mean, but it's really funny for that to disappear from their mission statement.
Google says in an interview, now, like, well, you know, maybe you could be a little evil sometimes. Maybe we don't always mind.
But we were talking about how, like, Google used to be, like back in the late 2000s, like, everything they were putting out was revolutionary. It was like Google Chrome came out, and Docs and Drive and all this shit that was like, oh my god, this is, like, changing the way the internet
Google
works.
Glass
when was the last time
everything.
they did anything? When was the last time Google came out with, like, a new thing that you were like, oh my god, this is, like, gonna change the game? And instead, like, their services keep getting worse, and meanwhile, other people are making competing services that are better, and now people are telling me, like, Microsoft Edge is, like, a better browser than Chrome, and I'm like, even Chrome is being topped? What are you doing, Google? Get your shit together. YouTube's
trying to get off
apart.
Chrome. I've been trying to get off Chrome for a long time because I don't want to be tracked in my shit.
Apparently,
I should
Microsoft
just use
Edge
Opera
is better.
or whatever.
Or if you don't want to be tracked, use Firefox.
Firefox is pretty good. I use Firefox. If you want a browser specifically that doesn't track you, there's a browser called Brave, which is designed by Firefox guys. They, like, left the company and started their own thing called Brave.
Word.
And it has an ad blocker, like, built in, and it has, like, all these do not track things, and it's specifically designed to not pay attention to any of your shit.
I do want that. I hate being watched.
Get it right now.
Fuck you, Google.
Same.
I mean, if you really want to do that, you should get a VPN. Like
that's true. That's true.
You know.
I should subscribe to one of those many fine VPN services advertised to me on YouTube.
This episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast is brought to you by Private Internet Access, the greatest VPN ever made, according to, like, the YouTubers I watch, I guess.
That's true. Oh, and I almost forgot. In fact, I'm glad you brought this up, Digi, because I wanted to announce that. So from now on, PCB episodes will be exclusively available through our proprietary online download service, the PC Portal. There you go.
Speaking
the PC
of Nate,
Portal.
Me and Tom have also been talking about how we need to get the PCP on everywhere, and what I mean by that, because I think that we've listened to our fans to say things like, oh, put us on iTunes, put us on whatever, but, like, these other podcasting services that exist, like, there's people who just listen to podcasts through those. So, like, those people are not in our fan base right now because they have no idea who we are because they don't use the services we currently are on. So, like, potentially we could have entirely separate audiences who know about us from totally different apps. And I think that's worth exploring.
It's a good idea. Yeah, it's a good idea.
So everybody let us know what podcasting apps we should explore.
I'm scared.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Seriously.
I mean, I think everyone commenting on YouTube is probably watching us on YouTube.
That's true.
Well, okay, I mean, that's true.
But if you know of any, I guess. I mean, we should definitely be on every platform available to us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a diminishing return on investment, but I mean, it'd certainly be a good thing to just be on everything, and we could just push a button and do it. So, yeah, let's look into it.
Wherever quality podcasts are sold or offered for free.
Indeed.
Or whatever.
Ben, tell me about your comic selling. I want to hear about
it. Wait, I was gonna preface it. I was talking about I talked about it on my Twitch the other day, twitch.tv/Saint Comics. Like, comment, subscribe. Nice. High five. Nice. High shovel. Basically, so I had seen on Twitter, someone had tweeted this thing about how you can sometimes just walk into a store and be like, I have a book, will you put it on the shelf? And sometimes they'll just do it. So I was like, well, what if...
Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
I was like, what if I got to lose? So I got... Okay. So I still have maybe like 200 or so copies of the Vapors from the Kickstarter that did not get sold because I printed a batch of 500 because there was a price break at 500. So I thought, why not?
Can I have one?
Do you not already?
No, I don't have a Vapors.
Give me $5 and you can have one.
I'll give you $5 for one. I'll happily do that.
You didn't fucking kickstart me, you fuck.
Ben, I didn't even know that you. I didn't even know about the Kickstarter till it was like
what
over.
The fuck?
Yeah,
I knew. I just didn't believe in you. Was my problem. So that's where I'm coming from.
I mean, do you guys know that it fucking was a massive success that raised like 350% of its original goal?
Yep.
Yeah.
I know that it has cool black envelopes.
Yes.
Shit.
Well, that's where the fucking pins came from, which I have and I love. I love my Poobah pin. I have it next to my desk all the time.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of Poobahs floating
around next
the
to my
house
Radcon 3 pin.
I don't know, I don't even know how I have as many as I seem to have. Like, I'm pretty sure there should only be one or two, but it seems like everywhere I go, they fucking appear.
Oh, and you know what? Here's a little thing that
multiplying.
small thing that makes me. That's true.
Shit,
that's
you know
true.
What?
Michelle,
I ordered the second pin for the second Kickstarter, which will probably happen in. Later this year, I guess. I ordered the second kind of pin. I'm not going to say what it is, but I just got the email notification that it has shipped, and I think it's shipping to our parents' house. Nate, at least.
I hope it is a pin of Vincent
boy
having a panic attack. That's what I want.
I'll just tell you, no, it's Infinite Jest. The pin is Infinite Jest.
Great,
cool. That's great.
It's funny. It's a joke. Laugh.
Wait, so Ben, how do you have 200 extra copies? Like, surely not even 200 people had bought them originally, right? Like, how many did you sell?
It was like 200 something.
Holy fuck! How long did it take to ship all that?
A while. Oh man, I took a picture. Oh, I don't know if I still have it, but I took a picture of the mailing of the receipt that I got from the post office for when I went to mail them, and it is like this long. It is like a huge fucking jumble of paper. It is like 12 feet long. Is the receipt from when I mailed them all? It cost me like
It's funny, Ben.
It cost me like $700 just to ship everything.
Oh god,
Jesus Christ! Well,
because a lot of it was international.
When I shipped out all the when I shipped out all the Radcon stuff, like they were like, "Do you want a receipt?" I'm like, "It's gonna be super long. No, just email me." And they did, but the problem is they emailed me for each individual item, so my phone just started blowing up because I got 150 emails in quick succession.
God, yeah, why?
I don't know. It was
sending them domestically was about $2 an envelope. Sending them Canada was like $4, and everywhere else internationally was like just under $7. So it was about $5 extra to ship them internationally. So on the next Kickstarter, I will probably be like, if you're not in the US or Canada, $5 postage fee. I should have done that on the first one, but I didn't think to do it.
Yeah, there's a thing on Kickstarter for that.
Yeah, I had the option.
Anyway,
God, I really hope that shipment is headed to our parents' house and not anywhere else. But anyway.
Same.
But anyway.
Well, they did just move. Was it moved to their new place or their old place? Ben, you fool!
I ordered it months ago.
Well, okay.
Okay. I will. As soon as the show is over, I'm gonna go check in on that. Oh, motherfucker.
Well, good, and I'll go get that sweet Soylent.
But the point,
whatever.
The point is, I googled comic stores in Boston, and I picked out a couple that were on the red line, or I picked out a couple that were on a fairly linear route that I could take through the city. Mm-hmm. So I grabbed a box of these, this extra stock of comics, and I put it in my Sonic Boom backpack, which I have.
Nice.
It was a homecoming present. It was a homecoming present from a friend. So I put it in my Sonic Boom backpack, and I embarked on a journey. and I hit up 4 stores. I hit up a store in Davis Square, which I had been to before, called Kamikaze, and they were too fucking hoity-toity. They were like, we only publish local artists that we're publishing the books ourselves. And I was like, surprised that is even a thing that they do, but I guess it is. And they said that they would stage a signing event for me, like they do signings for local artists. But I thought I don't really have the clout for that to be worth it. I don't think I would draw a huge crowd, you know? So I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
You might be surprised. I feel like we have a lot of listeners in Boston.
I have at least one.
We really should try that. We should really experiment more with public things. Like, see how it goes.
We've gotten a lot of comments to the effect of like, wow, it's really trippy now that they all live in Boston, like hearing them say the names of all these places that I pass by every day and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure there's a fair... Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
When I was tweeting to complain about how they were fucking like shutting down the roads for that like cop who died or whatever.
Yeah, those damn terrorists.
Yeah, someone was like, yeah, I like, there's been like news vans outside my work all the time because I work near the station in in town you live in, and I'm like, oh, like my fucking people are like right around me. Like, it's probably a fucking someone who listens to the show in my goddamn
all
neighborhood.
Around me are
That's
familiar faces, worn out
places.
Digi, well, here I'll let Ben finish his story.
Wait, about a signing. I guess like leave a comment or tweet at me if you would want to come to like a signing event in Davis Square with me. I would do it if I thought people would come. But anyway,
I mean, hey, if Ben does a signing, I'll show up too.
Yeah.
So you can come meet Digibro and get Ben's
on there.
No,
he's got time.
Stay the fuck away from my signing. I don't want people showing up and being like, "Oh, hey Ben, where's Digi?" No.
I'll tell them that they can't talk to me unless they buy your comic.
Now, that sounds like a compromise I can live with.
I just want you to be at the table with your comics, and I'll be like 15 feet behind you in a chair, like wearing sunglasses and just like sipping a latte and like giving everyone the finger, like. And then like if they buy a comic, like you'll like undo like this little rope and they can go back and shake my hand, and I'd like tell them to fuck off.
This feels dirty. This feels dirty.
No, man, this is business. I guess get used to it.
You know, I guess this is what I signed up for. But so Kamikaze said no, but we'll do a signing, and I was like, okay, maybe. So then I went to Harvard Square.
Does Kazi have any relation to Kamikaze?
No.
You know?
No.
You get it?
I don't get it.
No?
All right, well, how about we split the difference, and Tom will be at the signing with you.
You know, Digi 2.0.
No, I want you all to come. I want you all to come. If I do it, which maybe I will.
Beautiful.
Maybe I should do it just for fun, just to see what happens. What if no one shows up? Whatever. It's an adventure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Just have a party.
Yeah. And then I will tweet that I had a signing.
We'll have to just Photoshop it. We'll have to Photoshop a bunch of people into your signing and then post on Twitter like, this is fucking hopping. Yeah, come get your comic. You're missing out.
Photoshop and all the greats. You know, Sonichu, Tails, Winnie the Pooh. You know, the whole gang.
I think I can guarantee you get at least 10
Pooh's
people.
Adventures of the Ben Saint autograph signing at Kamikaze.
Hell yeah.
And Doug was there, and Tails, and Hey Arnold.
The Cheeto Man was there, you know.
Knuckles.
Yeah.
All the greats.
Hatsune Miku showed up. That was lit, you know.
Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider, a known comic
Every
writer
Red Ranger, none of those Beta Blues, though. So I went to Harvard Square, and I went to this basement called $1 Million Picnic, and that guy, there was a very nice dude in there behind the counter. It was a small little hole-in-the-wall place, and I told him I had a book, and he took it, and he read through my comic. And it was very awkward for me. I just kind of pretended to look at shelves, and then a guy came and bought something, and he put it down and rung this guy up, and I was just like, when's he gonna finish reading my shit? But he eventually did, and he was like, looks good. You know, I'll buy a couple and I'll put them on the shelves. He bought 3 copies for $4 a piece.
Okay.
I made a whopping $12 from that exchange, and he said he was going to sell them for $6. And, see what happened. He said, call back in a while and see if they sold. And then, the next day, someone tweeted at me, outside of $1 Million Picnic, holding a copy, presumably one that they bought in there, So I already look like a real cool guy.
So
did you
obviously
tell them to go there to buy it, though?
here because of the fact that there's people nearby buying your comics and who know who you are online.
There's at least one.
Yeah. Ben, did you like advertise that, or was that an organic purchase that this person just did?
No, I did tweet that I had put I did tweet and I mentioned which stores my shit was in, so it was not completely organic.
Fair enough.
So then I went to another place in...
Hey, all that matters is that they sell.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all you need to convince the people at the place that they should keep buying your comics.
Pretty much. True. Maybe I can sell more than 3 at the next time. So then I went to another place in Harvard Square. I think it was called New England Comics or New England Comic Shops or something. Mm-hmm. And there was a pretty enthusiastic guy behind the counter. He was pretty cool, and he seemed to like me and want me to get my shit on the shelves. He took a look and he liked it, but he was not a manager. He did not have the authorization to do that for me. So I left a copy with him, gave him my contact info. He said, like, call back in a little bit and we'll see. And I was like, okay, cool. So that one's a maybe. And then the last one, I went to the Heinz Convention Center, and I went to this place called Comicopia. And you looked at my shit, they said there was a guy and a girl. The girl was like, this is very professionally printed, it's very nicely printed. And I was like, cool, thank you. He was like, unfortunately, it's in black and white. And sadly, that is a problem because things that are not in color, people just don't pick them up. And I was like, that sucks, but, it was a deliberate choice. I like the black and white aesthetic. She said that people complain about manga. People are like, oh, I can't read manga because it's in black and white. I was like...
I mean, literally Jesse. What
kind of crowd is this? What the fuck kind of crowd is this?
Absolutely. People who only read American comics, That's
like a weird and bizarre world that I don't understand. The world of Western comics.
The funny thing is that most Western comics, what bothers me about them is that I hate the colors, because so many of them are, like, terrible colorists, or just, like, the aesthetic
every time I read,
doesn't
like,
work
Marvel comics and stuff in black and white, like, they have, like, these collections where they're on newsprint and they don't have the colors. They look so much better.
I prefer
to read them like that.
I personally don't really like the colors because it's just, like, it's too much, it's too overpowering. It's overwhelming.
I love the simplicity of, like, a simple black and white ink manga panel. I don't see how... I don't understand people that can look at that and be like, ugh, where's all the color?
It's like you know that drink called Trop 50?
No.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Okay, what it is it's orange juice with half the calories.
Oh, yeah.
So here's what they did. They took a gallon of orange juice and they poured water in half of it. So it's half water, half orange juice. Well, that's just my age-old
trick.
So,
my age-old trick has been to dilute my orange juice. So, like, where's my fucking royalties, Tropicana?
After sipping a couple of glasses of Trop 50, if you go, as I've done, and you sip just a normal glass of orange juice, it's the most decadent, overbearing, sugary drink in the world. So it's like that. That's what the colors are like for me. I can't handle it. My baby's taste buds can't handle it.
We can't talk about orange juice. This shit's not keto.
I can
feel my insulin spiking as we speak.
I don't think the issue is that the comics are colored. I just think it's that the way that, like, it is culturally accepted to color comics in America is obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, that it's all, like, just glaring primaries and, like...
I think it's because there's a guy whose job is to just do colors, so they gotta, like, overcompensate.
Probably,
But I mean, I've seen color comics that look good before. It's just,
you know what is weird? There's a ton of people, like, I've been doing the podcast for a while now.
Cucumber Quest, incidentally.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I like Cucumber Quest.
Cucumber Quest is colored beautifully. Yeah.
I haven't really read it. With the podcast, like, of course, One Piece manga originally all black and white. But, like, there's been a big thing to make the colored manga. So, like, I've gotten a bunch of people into reading One Piece through the podcast and videos and stuff, and, like, most of them read the colored version, and it's very strange to me.
I don't get it.
I've looked at some of it. It really is. It's like drinking. It's like drinking that pure glass of orange juice. I'm like, it's so strong.
I mean, I think that the colored version of One Piece. First of all, I think it works because of the fact that it's based off the color design of the show, which is really strong. And, like, One Piece is a world that makes sense in color. Like, I do think there are certain manga where, like, because of the fact that it's, like, a wacky, crazy, like, everything is audacious in One Piece, like, it just kind of makes sense for it to be colored.
I do agree, like, one of my comics that I've discontinued, basically, like, Eventide Eternal, well, not discontinued, it's just gonna be on a hiatus for years, but, like, I had to stop it because I realized that I can't color, and this comic has to be in color because they're gonna travel to all these worlds and locations and stuff, and I cannot translate the world without using the colors because it's so integral to the whole thing.
You know, when I read Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle, that's the one that comes to mind immediately.
Oh boy, yeah, that thing is incomprehensible. In black and white.
It sure is. And in black and white, like, I just got no sense of, like, feeling for, like, the worlds that they visited. Yeah. Oda's way better at that, doing that in black and white. 'Cause he does
I'm sure that the One Piece colored version is great, but I don't get needing that. Like, I think the black and white version's fine. Like, when I reread Scott Pilgrim, like, maybe a year or two ago, or no, it was more than, maybe like 3 years. Jeez, I should reread it again. The last time I reread Scott Pilgrim, I was like, well, there's the colored version or there's the black and white version. And I was like, I opted for the black and white version because, like, this is what it was originally made as. And the colored version is like an alteration. And I'm sure
literally
it's cool,
every single time I go to the store, because I've never bought Scott Pilgrim and I want to, and I'm always just like tearing myself apart over, like, well, the colored version's the one I haven't read yet, but the black and white version's the original. And then finally I opened each one up to, like, some specific scenes last time I was at the store, and I was just like, the black and white is just superior. Just like, because you can tell, I think the problem with colorized versions of originally black and white comics is that, like, there are times when the color adds something to it, and then there's times where, like, in Scott Pilgrim, there's lots of just, you know, blank white backgrounds, and so they replace those with just, like, blank single color backgrounds, but that makes it more obvious that they're not in, like, a realistic location. Yeah. You know, like, maybe in the manga it's just, like, a guy against a white backdrop, but now it's, like, a wall that for some reason is undecorated, and that seems unrealistic, you know?
Dude, that's kind of like my feelings about, like, just as one example, but it pertains to everything, every, like, whatever, like, anime, or manga to anime conversion. Like, for, like, the One Piece anime, or, like any shonen conversion from the manga to whatever, it's like, in some ways, like Bink Sake from One Piece is, like, so much better in the anime, but, like, moment to moment, it's, like, kind of way worse because it looks like shit, and, like, audio is nice. That's true.
Worse, and, like, it's the audio adds something in a couple of instances, but for the most part, it's better.
I mean, I made a video about that. Way the fuck back, the one about Soul Eater, and, like, how the problem with that translation was, like, there's parts where there might be a panel that's, like, really tiny on the page, but it's just, like, a little cutaway joke, but then when they make it the anime, that's, like, 10 seconds of dialogue, and it totally kills the pacing.
Yep. That's a big thing. That's a big thing.
But to round out my story, so this girl was like, I don't think they'll, you know, it's too bad they're in black and white because black and whites, you know, don't go off the shelves as much. And I was like, well, that's too bad, but whatever, I can't do anything about it. And they were like, well, it's well printed, so we'll, they did not buy the copies from me. They said, you know, we'll take them and put them on our shelves. We'll sell them for $6. I suggested $6 because it was what the other guy had suggested as a reasonable price. And we'll split it 50-50. Which is a shitty deal. 50 to the store is a shit deal, frankly. But whatever, I don't care. And I was like, fine, if that's the deal, then I'll take it. We'll do it. And then I left. And then someone tweeted at me. They bought it from the other one, and it was pretty cool. So now I have 7. I have 7 copies out in stores, and at least one of them has sold. And I will probably go into the town again because there are plenty more stores that I did not hit up. I hit up 4, and there's
I'm excited to hear about this plan, Ben.
Yeah,
because it would be very easy for us to make some kind of multi-tiered deals around this area with these comic shops. Like, if everyone is going to end up around here, like, imagine if it was like if we had some kind of PCP package deal where, like, we'll promote them and they'll, like, host different comics and things that we create and, like, or do art signings. And,
that's
like,
an interesting idea. That's an incredible idea.
Yeah, but I don't think we're big enough for them to really.
I honestly think that because it's Boston, we are big enough. Because I mean, consider the fact that Ben was saying that there's local comic stores that are big enough that they literally publish local artists, which means that enough people are invested in buying a completely unheard of local artist that they will sell enough to make it worth publishing for them. So like, you know, we already have pre-established like fan base, so like it's not like we're building out of nowhere. We already have fans in Boston, and if those fans created a culture from these stores, like if people knew every Saturday we're going to be at this comic store, then like you build a community around that. Right. You know,
here's the idea. Thing. Like these stores, like their social media presence is like a fraction of what ours is.
Right.
So like, if,
I have no doubt,
especially if they have like online sales, like there's big, you know, gains for them. If we can, like,
PCP has a swinging, like, in terms of, like, when people look at the PCP channel and say things like that it doesn't have, like, that many subscribers or something, it's like you're comparing it to the entirely wrong thing. Yeah, it doesn't have that much subscribers for a YouTube channel in competition with big YouTubers. 16,000 subscribers to the average human being sounds fucking insane. Like, if you tell a small business, yeah, we have the pull of 16,000 people, it's like, oh, that's the population of this town, you know? Like, so it's...
Yeah,
you know, I think there's a lot that can be done with that.
Not to mention, like, the weirdness of the PCP in that, like, almost all of us have, like, more pull in, like, the individual things we do outside of the PCP itself.
Imagine if I did that signing and say, like, 10 people show up to it. Like, that's 10 people that, like... That's 10 real people who maybe had never heard of this store. Coming to it for the first time, and, you know, maybe buying some stuff, and maybe becoming repeat customers. And, you know, to a little mom and pop shop, that kind of thing is valuable.
With Ben, when we were hanging out with Econ and Zen Huxtable, we went to Newberry Comics, and May like spoke to someone there, like, hey, this guy's a famous anime YouTuber. Can we strike up some kind of deal with you guys? And they were like, well, you got to contact our office. And they gave us like a card. She tried calling them, but never actually got an answer because they were just like not in the hours, I guess. And,
I stopped at Newberry, and they seemed very like. They didn't seem.
The thing is, Newberry's a chain.
Newberry's
a chain, and it's very FYE-esque. But I'm thinking now that because I've noticed that there's Newberries all over town. Like they're pretty common in Boston. So that means all the other comic shops are in competition with Newberry, which means that if we can give them anything that would be a pull for them to compete with Newberry, that would be really attractive to them. You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Let me tell you why selfishly this plan sounds great to me. It is because I have long felt like some sort of weird comics pariah, like a guy who makes comics and makes his living off of doing comics, and yet has like basically no connection to like other people who do that. And sometimes I wonder about like the comic scene, right? Like breaking into that scene and being a part of that community, right? And I wonder about it.
You don't want it. It's awful.
You think so?
And I mean, that's the funny thing is I completely relate to that because of the fact that I hate all the anime YouTubers, and I have always felt like a pariah in that same way because like so many of them are about the sense of community. Like they just want to be in the group called anime YouTubers, and so they just do what everyone else in that group does. And like, I'm not really interested in that. Like, I just want to make my shit, and I would prefer if everyone in the group was doing something different. Which is why I love the PCP so much, because we're like, none of us are quite doing the exact same shit. So it's like we always have. We're not really in competition with each other. We're just people who are, you know, taking a similar approach to our career path.
I've had mixed feelings about it because sometimes I feel like a weird pariah, and I think, boy, if only I were part of some kind of like community that would like support what I do and like help promote my shit and like, you know, have mutual interests in common and face the same kind of struggles and all that. But then sometimes I see like on Twitter or in like various Discords that I joined and then never looked at again. I see this community. I see the people, you know, communicating, and the attitude is like foreign to me. The attitude is like hyper positive and like hyper supportive and like very like hug boxy, and I'm like, I'm shuddering in my chair.
I mean,
what I'm miming my reaction.
Like I said, Ben, in the last 5-10 years, every time I go to a comic store and I pick up something I've never heard of, it has Tumblr art. When I pick up your book, it has nothing of the sort. And I really think that, again, it's people wanting to be a part of a clique. They get into drawing comics because they want to be in a positive community like that. And I think that you are someone who, as an outsider to that, you're just someone who independently came to the conclusion of comics with no motivation behind it to make friends on that basis. And now you're surely I can make friends on the basis of what I'm already doing, because surely someone else does comics and feels this way. That's kind of how I felt with my anime channel, is surely, I'm not doing this to be a part of the anime community, but surely I could form an anime community out of people who feel the same way about anime I do.
I mean, with this question, one should really, I think about this a lot. You should lead your life with your values out in front ahead of you. Yeah. You shouldn't be aiming to join a particular group. It should be do the thing that you're passionate about, or whatever that is, and then absorb the community that gathers around you naturally.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I feel is what I have done. I feel like I have more or less lived by that ethos.
I think
same here.
For me, I think the PCP entirely has lived by that, but for me, it's just a matter of we gotta build it bigger.
True.
It's we've built it and they've come, but what if we could build it even bigger and even more of them came?
Yeah.
Or what if we built it to be even better for them, and they left everywhere else that they were. You know what I mean?
The PCP is going to make them all come. I hear
exactly.
you.
Man, imagine that is my ultimate goal.
Imagine
if
if we could become a legitimate cultural force in the Boston area. What a dream!
I think we could.
What a dream come
I think
true.
it could happen. I am here to fucking lead the new type takeover of Boston. Goddammit.
Good. We need Munchie and his foot soldiers marching in the streets to enforce
we gotta burn this place to the ground. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that little escapade. I will probably do more of it soon. I mean, my results were pretty successful. Discounting Newgrounds, which I did not really expect to make any headway, I was successful at 2 out of the 4, and one of the...
Do you mean Newgrounds or Newberry Comics?
I mean Newberry Comics, yeah. I did not expect to make any headway there because they were so corporate. But yeah, 2 out of the 4 local shops that I went to accepted my shit, and one of the ones that didn't is still a maybe that might pan out anyway. So, I'd say the results were...
That's a great ratio. That's an incredible amount of success.
I don't care about selling them. Yeah. But I care about having them on shelves, and I care about... Okay, here's what I think, right? I don't think I'm going to move a ton of product this way, but I don't care about that, because the people that do find it in this way are going to be people who are really passionate about comics, right? People that are, into this medium, and those people are, invested. And someone like that stumbling upon my work and being like, oh my god, this is a new guy who I've never heard of before, and his work is different from everything else that I've read, and I connect with it. To get, if even just a handful of people having that reaction, that's what I'm after. And I think that this is a great way. I absolutely
think the type of people who will go to the local published shelf at all are that type of people.
Yeah, that's what appealed to me about doing it. Not the thought of moving a ton of product, but the thought about potentially reaching the hardest of core of audiences, potentially.
It's funny, Ben, back when before I became a YouTuber, I was making this magazine called the Virginia Beach Hermit Society, and my plan was that it says on the cover that it's free, and I was just going to leave it in Barnes & Noble, just leave it in random places and see if people would take it, which apparently is how the band TV on the Radio, their first mixtape album or whatever was called OK Calculator, and they said that they pretty much did that. They just printed off a bunch of it and would just leave it all over their campus and shit, or just in CD bins and stuff, and just hope people would find out about them.
There are some stores just have zines, people just leave zines in store. Yeah. There's a crepe shop in Davis Square that one time I just picked up some zines. They just had some fucking zines sitting around at the front.
Were any
shelf.
of them good or interesting?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember. It doesn't was nothing remarkable, but you know.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about it is that, like, again, you always have to consider the culture, because it's like, if you put it in a zine rack, but all the other zines are totally different from yours, then it's like, well, the kind of people who would come to this rack are not the kind of people who are going to read my zine, you know?
Yeah. Making zines is a popular thing. A thing that I don't quite get.
Zine?
Is there any profit to be found in making those?
Are you talking about zines?
Didn't we argue about this last time? Didn't me and Munchie get in a fight?
I was not there.
Yeah, wasn't Munchie calling it...
I have never heard the word zine before. What are you talking about?
I haven't heard
It's obviously zine because it's short...
Magazine.
Yeah, it's short for magazine.
No one says magazine.
Cool. Well, zines sound cooler.
But
no, it sounds dumb.
Okay,
I don't like it.
You sound dumb.
Oh, good one. That's yes. Well done. I'm proud of you. Yeah. Am I crazy or last week didn't me and Munchie argue about this exact same thing?
I don't remember.
No. Okay. Well, anyway,
I don't even remember if I was on.
A lot of people who draw comics make zines, and I don't quite get why. I guess the idea is to make like a really short work that you can like put places, but I don't know. There is a group in Boston called...
I'm just obsessed with magazines.
There was a group in Boston called the Boston Comics Roundtable that before I moved away, I would most weeks I would attend these meetings, and people would like bring their latest pages of their shit and post them up and critique each other. And they had like a group sort of like publication that people would do their own comics for and contribute to. But a lot of people that were at this thing made zines, and I was like, huh, zines, you say? And then I never even considered making one of my own, because why?
Ben, if you ever do consider that, get me involved, because I'm obsessed with magazines.
Maybe I will.
I grew up with them, you know?
Okay, the reason I think in my head I read it as zines is because, like, all of the, like, one-syllable words with, like, 4 letters, like, fine line, time...
Sure.
You know,
yeah, if you saw it alone without context,
etymologically, it has to be related to magazine.
You're probably right, but like it doesn't read that way in my mind, and it's just like it's just a big error message in my head. I cannot read it as
Mage, you're right. English is wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. I can accept.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let me tell you my secret shame. I have been meaning to go back to that Boston Comics Roundtable again because I used to enjoy it quite a bit. And I have not done it yet. And well, the reason doesn't make any sense and it's terrible. The reason is, and here's my fucking problem, guys, and I'm prepared to be judged for this. I'm judging myself. Okay. I'm too fat and I'm too ugly. And I don't want to leave my house. And I don't want anyone to see me. Oh, God.
What's the competition like there, though? Are these the much lookers that are going to look down on you for your fatness and your hideous body?
Not that anyone would in the first place.
I'm just like, I could be. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't be the ugliest guy there, but I could be 20 pounds thinner, and I could have my beard back. And wouldn't that be a better first impression to make?
I can relate to that. I can relate to that.
You know what you should do, Ben, is you should start going out in public and then use the shame that you feel over not being better to make yourself better.
But I have. But I have done that. I mean, that's
well, good job.
That's hence the keto lifestyle.
Yeah, well, you know, getting out of the house really helps with motivation to, like, improve yourself.
Yeah.
If you're sitting at home and doing nothing all the time, it's like, well, what do I even have to work towards? What's the point?
Nothing. You'd be in a wasteoid if you live in that lifestyle.
When you have more of a social life and you have like things that you go out and do, it's like all the other stuff, all the beneficial stuff. It's like you just kind of want to do it more. You have more reason to want to like eat right and exercise and you know not leave your room sometimes.
When you go out to like do something and you feel physically weak, it's definitely like you know when you're just like getting healthier for the sake of itself, it's just like, well, why? But then when you like try to do something you want to do and you can't, that's when it's really like, okay, like and I gotta say, motivation is such a powerful thing because I have been trying to like talk myself into like going hard on making more money because I need to, like, to live in the house I live in and pay my taxes. But but it wasn't until Tom yesterday informed me that there are now like 16 core processors that you can buy for like $800 that will like rip through render times that I finally actually started putting the effort into making more money. Like, it was not the like financial free fall that did it. It was the wanting to buy an expensive new computer that did it for me. I see.
Well, hey, there it is. Classic motivation. Getting them 16 cores.
Spend money to make money.
No, I think that was the mistake I was making like a few months ago, is that I was trying to like spend more money to make money, and now I'm like, no, I'm not at that point in my career yet. I'm at the point in my career still where I can make way more money by not paying anybody, by like just doing everything myself and just not being a lazy fuck.
Each and every one of us lies, without question, on the precipice of utter financial ruin. It could easily happen. Like, if any of us got sick, like, it's over. It's fucking over.
What do you mean by sick? Like,
I mean, well, you know, let's say you God, I don't know. You get some sort of, like, fucking long-term illness.
Oh, yeah.
I guess cancer's an extreme one.
Oh, you're saying, like, if we had to, like, spend a shitload of money over getting sick?
That's what I'm saying.
I could not afford cancer.
Does anyone in this group have health insurance at all?
Oh, I have health insurance through my job currently.
I live in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so she's all right.
I have still not gotten on Massachusetts health insurance, even though it was one of the main things I was looking forward to doing when I got back here.
Ben, do it today.
Look, come on, Ben. You got to join me in the bottom rungs of society, leeching off.
You don't have health insurance either.
Yeah.
Oh,
how I love paying my. Oh, well, this is how you get your revenge for those
really
people.
Terrible, by the way.
But it's like, free.
That's socialized medicine for you.
This is the closest I'll ever get.
You can see a doctor, and what more do you want?
Yeah. He'll look at you, tell you to get out, and that'll be that.
When are we gonna have free? When are they gonna make free technolized limbs? I just want to have like a robot.
Where is transhumanism?
Oh,
why is it not
here yet? Wait, I have to
days.
share the terrible tragedy that occurred in my life. Guys.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Guys.
You lost an arm?
My Oculus Rift.
No!
Okay.
No!
I think the Rift itself is fine. I think it's just the cord. I think it's the cable.
Oh, God.
Okay, because the headset connects to the computer with a cord that splits. It splits into an HDMI and a USB. And the USB connector works, but the HDMI connector, it will not. It says that it's not connected, and I don't know if there's a problem with the headset. Okay, it's not a problem with the computer because I have plugged a monitor into that HDMI port and it has worked. So it's not the computer. So it is either something with the headset, or I think more likely it's something is wrong with the cord. So I looked into replacing the cord, and this single cord. Okay, you can buy one from the manufacturer, from the Oculus Rift manufacturer, for a whopping $50. So I'm like, fuck that. So I head on to Amazon, right? Or I head on to eBay, and I look for this cord, $150 for just the cord.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I'm like, so that doesn't,
maybe they're all sold out.
Doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why would you
Is
buy
it like
it for
a proprietary cord?
Why would you buy it? I don't know. I guess maybe.
That doesn't make any sense. Like an HDMI cable is like $2.
Well, it's an HDMI split with a USB, and actually, come to think of it, the headset port might be proprietary. So
you're fucked. You're fucked.
I mean, I guess $50 isn't that bad.
Hey, we're at an hour 20. Let's do music. God damn it.
Yeah. All right.
I guess we'll get to my topic.
No.
Do you want to do it, Mitch?
Yeah,
No, it's okay. I'm kind of getting tired.
I've hogged the conversation this whole time.
Well, today was Ben's day, and next day will be Mage's day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm actually pretty okay. I like with our format. I have many topics prepared to talk about.
I think that an hour is not that long, and I think we
see, I'm really bad at coming up with topics. So I brought a topic today, but we didn't get to use it, so I won't have to come up with a second topic next time.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I quite like that.
Well, I feel
all right.
robbed.
This is a Ben episode. I quite enjoyed it, frankly.
Ben Ryan,
yeah, I had fun listening. I'm sorry I didn't.
Oh god, I didn't know this was going to be the
much.
Ben episode. Cancel
Basically
it.
is.
Cancel it.
Judge it appropriately, viewers.
You came on time. You talked a lot about interesting things. You're good in shape, Ben. Good shape.
Twitter.com/It's Also Ugly. Patreon.com/Ben Saint. Buy my books in the real world, in the real universe, wherever quality comics are sold.
Ben, what you need to do is when you get your Oculus Rift fixed, we need to make a virtual comic book store that's just your books, and you can buy the Oculus Rift.
Ooh, now there's a plan. Now there's a plan. You can watch movies on the Oculus Rift. But like,
I mean, I don't know how they're not like set up for that though.
Like it's just like a screen floating in front of you that you can look at. Like it's in 3D space, but it's a 2D screen floating in front of you.
But you can make it huge.
I guess you can.
That's like,
I'm sure that's true.
How is that an improvement from real life?
It's not. See, the thing that gets me, the thing that has been most disappointing about the Oculus Rift is that the screen, like the granularity of the screen is just not small enough, and it just doesn't feel... Like, it never doesn't feel like I'm looking at a screen, you know? Like, you can tell it's a screen, because you can see the pixels. I can tell by some of the pixels, but I haven't seen quite a few shoops in my day. That's a meme.
Well, I mean, be that as it may, it's our only IRL portal to the actual Rift Cafe. So, by Christ, Ben, you need to get that fixed so we can access it.
Please, let's start talking about the music before we end up in the Rift Cafe.
All right, here we go.
All along. Pull the curtain back.
Hashtag PCP themes, everybody. You still got, at time of hearing this, you are out of time by the time you have heard this. But by the time of recording it, you've got 2 days. Ends the 31st, or 3 days. So you will have heard this last time. So you know. So there you go. So there you are. But we're done by the time you're hearing this. But here's our shit. All right, first one. Here we go. It's from @Pelvis Esley. What does he have to say? Felix. A cover of the original song by @Footwear Man. Might not fit the bill completely, but I made it, so listen to it, god damn it. And it's called Podcastinator. All right.
Pretty good.
Robo
pretty good title.
Thing.
Yeah, I like
pretty good. Makes sense. And here we go.
Ooh.
I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to be working right now. But I'm not working. I'm doing nothing. My dick I'm jerking. Myself I'm sucking. I am a man.
Hell yeah.
I am a stupid. I've got a deadline. What am I doing?
I think the lyric is "don't want to do."
Yeah, I think you changed it up.
Change the lyric.
That was nice.
It was nice.
I did not hear it because the pub was muted for me, and I don't know why.
What?
Well, let's fucking turn it up, Mage. This is your problem.
I managed to I managed to unmute it, but like that's when it ended, so I didn't hear anything. I'm so sad.
Go back and listen to it.
And I thought that the tone was pretty spot on. Was it an improvement?
The only problem with that one is I don't know if it's better than the one that already exists.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is it an improvement on the original? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel the same.
It's pretty chill.
I think it's a good cover.
I definitely think that's one of the ones that like we should use for like just something. Like an outro or I don't know. Like whatever.
Yeah. It's definitely worth using for something.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Nice work, Felix. All right, next one. All right, this is a big one. So our boy OblivionFall, who's made a bunch. He made those hardcore rockin' ones.
Oblivion.
Yes. Who did you guys see his tweet where he was like telling the story about his name?
That was such a cool story.
Oh.
You should check out the Twitter, Ben. He made a little video explaining his name because like Devu was giving him shit for it being possibly associated with Skyrim.
Oblivion.
Would I find it on the TP Crastinators Twitter?
Yeah, we retweeted it there.
If it makes him feel any better, I never associated his name to any of the Elder Scrolls games.
You know?
Ever. So,
there you go.
When I think Oblivion, weirdly enough, the first thing I think of is the Kingdom Hearts Keyblade.
That is a good one. That's a good one. It's the best, in fact. But so last week was his meme theme. This week is his dream theme.
Oh,
so damn. This is an important one. So let's get right the fuck into it. Wait, was there any notes here? He just said, to hear my music played by real instruments is so surreal. Many thanks to at Azariah and Maydi for lending your voices, and thank you Sam Madman for the synth.
Is this a fucking like supergroup collab or something?
Really
I don't know. It sounds like it. This is a
most
dream come true. He says.
crossover.
Holy shit. Well, all right. With all that said, let's fucking get into it. Here you go, Oblivion. Ah!
I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to be working right now, but I'm not working. I'm doing nothing. My dick I'm jerking. Myself I'm talking. I am an asshole. I am a stupid. I'm at a deadline. Don't wanna do it.
Whoa.
Man, it's been a while since I heard any brony metal, but that took me right back.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird to hear it in like it's sung in such an earnest way. These
It's like
retarded
a rock opera
lyrics.
singer or something, you know?
Oh, that's really cool.
So wait, was that
Really good.
He said it was real instruments, but the drums did not sound real.
Well, maybe they weren't all.
I mean,
they
maybe
weren't all
that
real.
part wasn't. I don't know. He said it was played by
It
real
sounded
instruments.
like tech
reminds
drums
me-
with guitars over it.
It reminds me very vaguely of the band Slavonics. I don't remember how it's pronounced. Oh gosh,
It just reminds me a lot of the old brony days when everyone was like making metal covers of the songs where it was like tech drums and just like shredding guitars with like brony lyrics over it. You know?
Slavonic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, word.
Slavonic, yeah.
Dream theme. Oh, by the way, it was called "Don't Want to Do It." Was the name. I mean, that was dope as hell, and I'd love to use it for something. I just don't like it's. I'm looking for a new theme, you know.
I mean,
I feel like an asshole, but that was awesome.
Ultimately, it is.
I don't know if heavy metal makes sense for this show's intro. Like, this is not like an explosive show. It's like 2 hours of like a bunch of people talking, you know.
Yeah. Oh man! By the way, I'm looking at his entry on his SoundCloud. He says, "My second entry to the PCP theme competition. I've been writing music for years. This is the first time it's been realized with true instruments. Getting this made was a surreal and expensive process that put me out by over $200. But it was worth it.
My God!
And he's got an instrumental version as well.
What about that cost? That was like a 30-second song. How did that cost?
He hired musicians to
$200?
sing and stuff. He hired musicians to sing
He
and
didn't
probably
have
play
friends
guitar.
who could do that? Like, damn.
I mean, if you don't have friends who play music, who
was
play
that
guitar
Rena
or
Chan
sing,
or something? Like,
anybody can be your friend if you
that?
give them enough money. That's
right.
what we've learned today.
Right.
he's fucking hired set musicians or some shit.
Holy
basically,
shit.
I feel like there's
that's
got to be
awesome.
someone you could hire on Fiverr to do that for you.
Really,
I mean,
really
I have
bad, I'm
I
sorry.
have paid people for
Well, I mean, I
very
don't
small
feel bad
things in
because
videos
like
I've made
he got
too.
it made and we played it on the show and like we all like it.
Yeah.
So like
I like it a
don't
lot.
feel too bad.
I guess it's just I don't even really want to like go on like I feel really bad. It's just that like I don't think it's like the theme I'm looking for, but I absolutely loved it and I want to use it for stuff because it was fucking dope.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Question.
I didn't like it.
No.
Well, there you go. He hated it.
What's the protocol? Okay, so like how do we go about using other songs from this contest for stuff?
Well, I mean, one thought is that we use them as outros.
Okay, but can we just do that? Like, are we allowed to do that?
We did say at the very beginning that the thing was like we were planning to just use these, so only submit if you're comfortable with like us using it for stuff.
Okay.
So I mean, if somebody disagrees with that, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that's.
I didn't realize those were like the explicit terms.
We did mention that.
Okay.
We'll double check that so everybody's cool. But I mean, yeah. I
Like,
think
if
it
you're
should
not
be all
cool
right.
with it, just let us know.
And I mean, we'll credit, right? Like, we'll credit the song
of course.
any time it's used, obviously.
Certainly. All right, let me see here. So this guy made some variations. All right, next one's from Loveshorn, at Loveshorn. What do we got? He's got old, new, or newest. Okay, this is kind of weird. He sent like a bunch of versions of this song, I guess. But here's Crastinating 3. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Boom.
Oh, shit. This is fucking Metroid shit going on.
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of the first song on my album, Ghosts of Midwinter Ballers.
Oh, wait, this is 2 minutes and 55 seconds long.
Holy shit.
Keep it going.
Right.
Keep it going. Do not stop. We are in it. We are in it.
Oh, shit.
We're in it to win it.
Yeah. Best.
PCP, about to take a pee on me. Gotta get a drink, cause I'm really thirsty, bitch.
Digi, you're fucking me up. I'm thinking that that's really in the song.
Is it actually on beat for you guys? Like, would I do that?
More or less.
Drinking Mountain Dew, don't wanna go to school, cause I am not a tool. Y'all think that I'm a fool, not me. I'm a little bitch, please give me some dick in my butt, cause I'm such a slut. Gotta eat cuck juice. Well, this is not a opening theme at all.
Guys, we gotta rebrand our whole channel for this song, right? This song, this is our new aesthetic. I'm really vibing with this harder than I've ever vibed with anything before.
This song just makes me want to make a Metroid clone and then put the song in it.
I'm paused. I'm making the executive
Oh, come on. Weak.
I legitimately
liked it.
that.
I liked it. I'm looking at the audio waveform of the SoundCloud, and it's just this the whole time. So, like, that's fine.
It's so
fine.
I jammed with that a lot.
Stop
rap
talking.
over it.
Just play that song for the rest of the episode.
I like you guys
put it on repeat.
Tim and Eric's
put it on
thing.
repeat.
Put it on repeat. You know, there was this thing called the Cinco Cube or something, and like it had two like hypnotic tones that the kids would oscillate between. It was like E bumper and jet fucker or something, and the kids would just simply spasm out while these high pitched tones would like emanate throughout the room. I feel like this is perfect
Are you
for
talking
that.
about some kind of magical tone that could paralyze children?
Yeah, and it was a Cinco product from Tim and Eric.
Wait,
Gib
it wasn't
would know.
real?
Gib would know. Yeah, unfortunately. Well, I mean, that was cool. That was cool. Let me fucking do that.
Cool and all. But it's not. It's
not exactly what I think we want to use
just,
as an intro.
Just send me the beat and I'll rap over it, and I'll post it on my SoundCloud.
It's in the PCP themes. The chat right here.
Well, I'm telling that guy to do it to make sure he wants that.
It is available. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right, and what do we got here? This is another one for... okay, I did say that was from Loveshorn, sorry. All right, next one is from Garbage Burner or at Night Weasels.
Garbage Burner.
Night Weasels. Garbage Burner, he's back again with another one. Here's another attempt called Hypest Theme.
Okay.
Okay. I look forward to seeing that being the case. Here we go.
Oh, shit.
What's your favorite anime? Motherfucker, I don't care. Take shots at some Patreon. But still you should pay us there. Wanna leave a comment? Watch the whole entire video. We'll just say we'll come back soon. Once again the answer's no.
Absolute masterpiece.
I want to hear that song every morning when I wake up. I'm going to put that on my gym playlist.
That was fucking incredible. Dude, way to go.
That's strong contender.
Yeah, that was
strong
real
contender
strong.
right there.
It delivered on the title, for sure.
I'll give it like...
That's true.
You guys did say you didn't want heavy metal stuff.
I wouldn't consider that heavy metal. Look. I would consider that to be hardcore punk, which is much more the aesthetic of
I think I've said this before, but I like that it's got original lyrics that are like about the show. I dig that, right?
I just like that it has that really rough aesthetic, which is more like to do like the cleaned up like tech drums or all the electro. Like we've gotten a lot of electronic music, and I just don't really feel like that matches the tone of what this show is, which is like a bunch of people who make outsider fucking weird abrasive art, you know?
Yeah.
So despite my earlier comment, I do really love it though. It's good.
All right, well, we got one left for today from @JackIsBoy, simply called. It's actually called Extra Arthur. Okay, it's also #epic according to this.
Nice,
excellent. Is this? Wait, let me make sure this is the right one. Okay, this is the right one. All right, well, here we go. Here you go, buddy. Impress me.
This is the DCP, the Pro Crastinators podcast. I need to do some work, but I'm on the way to piece of shit podcast.
Wait, was that it?
Little bicycle noise.
The Arthur theme.
I think we found a winner.
Wait, was that it? Oh no!
I wanted to keep going.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that was only 20 seconds long. That was #epic. Way to go, buddy.
Oh, fuck.
That was fucking awesome.
I would legitimately be completely okay with that being the OP for like at least 4 or 5 episodes.
It's really not bad. It's
But
really
it uses Arthur's theme song, you said, so we can't really.
Oh no, I don't care.
Oh, whatever, Mage. Just 20 seconds.
That's a quitter's
It's
attitude.
2018, Mage. Nothing matters anymore.
Copyright's gone. It doesn't matter anymore. It's illegal. Awesome. Fucking awesome. Fuckman25 is what he's known as on SoundCloud.
This was a good crop. We had a good crop this week.
Yeah, we sure
That
did.
sounded like it would be something from ICP and the Funky Bunch. Thug Bungalow.
Yeah. God damn. And I think the album art for this is a creeper from Minecraft getting fucked. I think that's what it is.
Okay, cool.
That's what I read into it, at least. Incredible. All right, well, that's it for today, everybody. For the themes.
Do we have fan art? Are we looking at fan art?
Round of applause.
Or do we quit fan art? Do we ban fan art?
Yes,
we banned for life.
Okay. You know what we do?
Fan.
You know what we do? We look at the fan art on the next Drawcast. The next Drawcast, we will do a fan art roundup, and we will look at it there.
Not the next one. Next one.
Right.
Well, yeah, because you've already filmed the next one.
Yeah. So 2 Drawcasts from now.
So only 2 months to wait to get your precious.
We should. No.
All right, whatever. You figure it out.
We've got some good questions in here.
We do. We actually do.
I want to start with Giphies because I'm interested in hearing you guys' response. Does someone being an artist automatically make their criticism more valuable in your eyes?
No.
Absolutely not.
100% no.
You can be an artist and a complete and utter retard. It's totally possible.
The full picture of that, I would say the inverse, that someone not being an artist doesn't make their criticism less valuable, but like being an artist or whatever, like it could imply that you just have more information and insight than like, you know,
if they're
some layman.
If they're a really good artist, I might be more inclined to believe that they know what they're talking about. But it depends on if I agree with the criticism. You know?
Criticism, right? If you're talking about, like, I think that, like, criticism is subjective. I mean, a fellow artist might criticize something, and then I might take advice on how to change it. Like maybe this artist could advise me on, like, technique, right? Because this person might know about technique. But the fact that he knows techniques that might be involved in this, they don't make his opinion about it more valid. They don't make him more qualified to say that he does or does not like it.
Yeah, like, as well, like, it depends really, like, if you have a vision or a thing you really want to do and the artist is unaware of that and he might advise against it, and you know, like, for instance, like Ben said, like, you know, he printed it in black and white, and that was his vision, that's the way he did it on purpose, but then, like, some artists can come around and say, like, oh, don't do it in black and white, that's, you know, bad, or something like that.
Mage, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I just, like, this has been on my mind a little bit. You, and I think Tom as well, but I've definitely seen you liking posts like this. What is the deal with the protectiveness around like people drawing your OCs, like doing shit that like you wouldn't canonically have. Like I don't understand the world that this is coming from. Like,
I've never retweeted anything like that.
I don't remember retweeting that either.
Oh, that's some bullshit. Okay, maybe you didn't retweet, but I saw it liked. I've seen this many times, which is why I'm bringing it up. This protectiveness of OCs.
No. The only thing I like in retweet in regards to art is about art theft. About OCs, like
I swear it was today. This was fucking today. No. I saw that you had liked a post that's if you just don't agree, then fair enough.
Okay, I've been playing Tale of Two Towns Harvest Moon all day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, maybe this was yesterday, but okay, Mage, the real point is, do you have a problem with someone drawing one of your OCs doing something you didn't want them to do? How about having sex, for example? That seems like an obvious one.
Hold on, let me think about it. This is like, the thing is, like, it's I've been sort of on the fence about this thing, and that's why I'm sure I never liked or retweeted anything, because I don't have like a very solid opinion about this. On one hand, I don't really mind, but on the other hand, like if it's for instance like my character Mage, right, and she's meant to be me, and someone draws her having sex with their Sona, that's gonna creep me out like all hell. But if they just do like
that makes sense.
If they just draw like a tasteful lewd of my OC, which actually has happened once. Like, it wasn't
I saw that.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. The art was fantastic. I really like how they drew the back. I know it's very weird, but I like the detail on the back.
Nate,
backs are hard to draw.
Nate, are you maybe thinking of this thing? Mage retweeted it, and it is a thing about like don't trace people's art and don't post traces.
No.
Art. Okay.
I mean, I saw that too. That's a very different thing. And I mean, that was kind of an interesting question too. People were going back and forth on that. Like somebody had done, I guess, just since we mentioned it, somebody had drawn like a picture of Uravity from My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I retweeted that one.
That's right. That was a different one, but nonetheless. And then somebody had done like they took a picture of their drawing.
Look super
they had
weird
definitely.
In this picture, by the way.
Well, sure, but somebody had just like. Probably traced, but they say that they freehand drew, and you could see it was on a piece of paper, like the exact same image.
You can print out the original image and trace over it by putting a new sheet of paper on top of it.
Well, what if they did freehand draw it? What if they didn't literally trace it?
Because they did credit the original. They absolutely did say they credited. But the thing was, nobody believed that she drew it freehand.
First of all, ask permission. Like it's so 1-to-1. That like it doesn't matter that you freehanded at that point. If you could have freehanded, if you had the ability to freehand it like that, then why copy it one for one like this?
See, I think that it doesn't make any difference whether they traced it or freehanded it, honestly, because I mean they're still drawing it, they're still recreating something else's art. But I don't know. I mean, I think if you say like, yeah, this is a recreation of this art. Like, what more do you want? Like, what more
the specific criticism. The person credited with, they said like reference at this person. They said that it was a reference.
That's
not
close.
like
that's
trace.
Good enough. That's good enough.
No, that's not. No, Ben, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna punch you.
No, if they say reference at this and you look at that and it is like the exact same image, well, like, duh. Like, duh.
That's
this is
not a reference. That's like copying.
Is there anything different about this image that you guys are talking about?
Reference, and you can see, not really. You can see that it's the same image. It is an admission that I copied this image.
But they say reference. That's the thing. But they copied it entirely. The reference.
Mage, what exactly is your? Please articulate your particular grievance, Mage, just so I understand. Okay, what don't you like about that?
Okay, reference is like you take something and you just like build upon it. It's kind of like a base. Like, I don't know how to draw a hand. I look at a picture of a hand. It's like, oh, okay, so that's specific pose of a hand that I want to draw, and then I draw it myself. But it looks different. It looks in my style. It's mine now. Like, I just looked at it for reference to see how a hand looks like. that's a reference. Maybe a pose or something like that. Like if you put like those pictures next to each other, you can see the differences. You can see that like, oh yes, it's been referenced, but the artist has made it entirely their own thing. That's fine. That's a reference. I'm actually not against tracing when it's done for like when you're trying to practice and stuff. I used to do that too.
Sure.
But you don't post it and put your watermark on it. I don't care that.
Mage, if this person had said that they traced the image exactly, because they said a reference, if it had said traced, would that still be a problem?
Yes.
Ugh.
But
no,
it's one-to-one copy of the drawing, and I have issues with it.
Are people
if
not
they had
allowed
built upon it and made it their own, I would have not had so much.
But like Mage,
I'm sorry, that's crazy. It's crazy.
I gotta
Is there
disagree with you
profit
on that,
involved
Mage.
in this in any way?
No.
Because like
they
got a
tweet
lot
it,
of likes.
so like
they got
you
a
know.
lot of likes.
They got likes.
Yeah.
More so than the original one.
Well, that's not their fault.
That's true.
That's not their fault.
yeah, I mean, I would blame the consumer base for that,
No,
but like in the age
I'm
of
just
social
making
media,
I'm
it's
just
like
making a point.
Sure.
I'm just
My thing on that
okay,
is that
I don't think it makes any sense.
Let Tom speak.
What?
Well, I was just gonna say you had like Renaissance masters who did studies and copied paintings verbatim, and like that was a known thing to do. So if this person admitted that like this is a study and they essentially said that because they linked back to the original, which is the same thing, I don't see any issue there. It's just like, yeah, I copied this.
If they had
the person said very specifically that they referenced it, and people challenged them. They're like, whoa, you clearly traced this. And the person's like, they said, no, I did not trace this. I drew this. And maybe they were lying, but they said
I
totally
believe
it and
that
redrew
they
it.
free-handed it. I don't think it makes.
Cannot.
Okay.
Okay,
why
I'll
not?
need to
Why
have to.
not?
I'll need to take both images and then like look at them and like layer them over one for one to see, because like
I just don't agree with your.
I do not believe in the ability to freehand it. So
What? Why?
well, there's people who do that. I mean, there's people who sell counterfeits of like, you know, famous paintings who literally can just recreate them because it's just about studying the
I mean, people.
it's about studying what they did and then just doing it again.
People can do like photorealistic sketches by like using a photo reference, and they can sketch it with like perfect photo accuracy.
well, if they had such talent, then why copy someone else's?
It's
drawing?
because it's a totally
Because that's
different
what they
skill
do.
set. It's a
That's the
totally
skill.
different
They
skill
can.
set.
It's like saying,
still-
oh, you can copy a photograph perfectly. Well, why copy the photograph? Because the entire point is to copy the photograph.
Yeah.
Well, then copy the fucking photograph. I don't know. I'm having issues with taking someone else's art and recreating it. Like one for one. If it was built upon, if it was made different,
Well, I would argue
very
that-
much so.
Okay,
I
think that I think that the recreation is worse than the original, but I think you could argue that it did build upon it because it's colored differently, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Somewhat,
a little bit. Okay, so they made the colors.
I mean,
slightly
that's no
different.
different from like just taking a meme and giving it a new caption. Like it's just the same art that you've barely
fucking
transformed.
EU's trying to criminalize memes because they're copyright violations.
Jesus Christ, is that true?
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, fuck the
It's
EU.
on the table
All right,
right
let's
now,
move on to
yeah.
the next question.
All right. Mage, you've been thoroughly dabbed on. We'll get back to you later.
Okay, no, okay, like I do want to say, like, okay, guys, I do see your point. However, it's something that we don't have time to thoroughly discuss. But I do see your point, so I'll give you that much.
Mage, I think I more or less understand where you're coming from, and I feel a similar sort of like aversion, like, why don't you just draw something new? But I struggle to find any particular infraction.
Yeah,
I guess
that's all.
I guess like if I saw someone else doing this to my art, I would feel devastated. Honestly,
I just feel like if this person got less likes, it would not be a problem.
if someone sold, like, if someone was trying to sell a copy of my art, I would be upset.
Okay, first of all, if they had asked permission, if I would concede,
of course.
I would have absolutely no issue if they had permission and the artist was okay with them doing that. Then that's personally that's the artist's stance, and I'm not gonna tell them how to think or do stuff.
Is it kind of sad and maybe frustrating that this copier got so much more recognition for their copy than the original did? Yeah, but I don't.
That's not even my issue.
But
honestly.
I don't think they did anything wrong.
Okay.
I can't. Nothing that was done
anyway,
here
the
seems
next
wrong
question
to me.
is from
right.
Kajoro Bitterthorn, and it is: how's your next big project shaping up? On track or hit a snag? cough, please, how they marketed ETA. How they marketed is episode 1's like basically done. Like, it's just I have to add in certain shit, and it is just not a financially viable decision to finish that video right now. Basically.
I know where you are at, dog. I feel you big time.
Because there's like the How They Marketed series was basically developed way back when after I made How We Have Accepted Mediocrity, and I was on my like, oh, I'm gonna make some big, huge, epic thing that's like world stopping. But like the thing is, it will be niche as fuck, and most people will not give a shit about it. Like it's gonna be something that is mostly appealing to me. And even though the first episode is like mostly done, so I mean, I will wrap. It'll probably come out. It'll definitely come out in August at the very least. But like, as an overall arcing project, I already explained all of the like emotional and relevant details that like people will really resonate with in the Gecko Estate episode 4. Everything is Devilman. Like I explained the whole fucking point of the series in that video. So like, I just think that for the sake of me making money at all and like making videos that people actually want me to make and that will get any views, How They Market is just not a priority in that situation.
Well, that's good to know.
But Shinsekai Yori, I just did a whole just recorded a 35-minute video on and sent it to Devu, so that's the next big project.
Oh yes.
How about you, Nate?
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, Ben, go ahead.
Ben,
my next big project. So Endless War is a big thing, but at this point in development, it's kind of out of my hands, and so I have kind of stepped back from that, and that's just going to be ready whenever it's ready. So I've been working on Vapors 3, and that's coming along. I had kind of stepped back from that for a while, but
Ben, you need to do something. There's something you have to do to make Endless War good and monetizable. Okay. You 100% need to. First of all, you need to start using the Cop Killer and the Rowdy Fucker like logos in places, because like I can't find them anywhere, and it annoys me that they don't feel real yet. They don't feel real.
We don't really have official logos. Like the ones that exist were made by like people in the community. Like, we didn't make
well, that's... All right. Okay, well, what you need to do is you need to iron those out and hammer them down. I like the one that you have as your desktop background. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, but I didn't make it.
Okay, but whatever it is, make one so that I can buy a T-shirt of it and wear it, Ben, so you can monetize this shit and make money.
Making shirts... Munchie had to go on vacation. He was like, hey, I'm finally making shirts, and I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, okay, I did some sketches, like I did some really rough versions of these shirts. Okay, now before I finish them, I'm going to Italy for 2 weeks. Like,
well, that was great. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But,
so yeah, like obviously we need to start selling merch. Obviously.
I want so badly an IRL meetup of people wearing Cop Killer shirts, people wearing Rowdy Fucker shirts, and street warfare. I want it so bad. I have this idea
for IRL meetups. Right? There was a thing in there for a while. There was a map that people could enter their locations into, roughly.
Yeah.
And we were looking at like where the populations were clustered. Turned out it was this shitty service that like after 100 page views was like locked, and it was like you had to buy a subscription to look. So that was a complete bust, and it was garbage, and it really pissed me off. But if we got clusters of people around certain cities, I was imagining like meetups that are like, okay, like we choose a location in like a city, and like it's okay, if you're in this meetup, sign up and like show a picture of yourself and what you're going to wear. And the conceit is that killers and rowdies converge on this location, and it is then a race to take a picture of people on the other team. And once someone has had their picture taken and posted on the Discord, they've been shot and they're dead.
Okay, it sounds like you're copying the idea from Todd Who Never Falls in Love.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's an anime.
Well,
but it's a cute idea.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it would be like gang warfare. You show up, you'd have to be dressed accordingly, and the idea is you take a picture of someone and post it, and that means they're dead, and then they can't kill anyone. And it's just like which team can kill the other. I don't know. I think it sounds pretty cool in my head.
Well, whatever it is, I want more.
And everyone should wear fucking official shirts, and there will be official shirts soon because it's stupid that there aren't already.
I want one real bad.
All that is to say that I've been working on Vapors 3.
Fantastic. I'm happy to announce my new Weagua is literally seconds from being done in the editing bay, and it'll be out this very day of recording. So by everybody hearing it,
when's your next big
project
project coming? Is what the question
This is
was.
a pretty big project, but to that point, okay, what I'll say is this. I have restructured my life to prioritize getting out big projects, not just Weaguas, in answer to people's concerns.
Okay.
And there you go. So, working on it.
All right, Eric C. Bass says, how many
Wait,
days...
what about Mage and Tom?
Oh,
What are their
I
projects?
don't know if they have any big projects at the moment.
Do you guys?
We talked about my big project. We had a whole, half an hour discussion about it.
I don't know about it.
What I would describe as Tom's big project would at best be... At easiest be a year and a half away, I'd imagine.
Oh, God.
Sure. But I have other big projects that are building up to that big project, I guess.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Okay.
All right.
I want to make a bunch. I'm going to start getting into game dev because I do all this low poly 3D shit. The whole conceit is that it's just going to make games that look like PlayStation 2 games and have the aesthetic of low poly mascot stuff like Ratchet and Clank mashed with the edge of Newgrounds' cartoons and stuff.
With your little ninja coon.
Yeah,
Cocoon, I believe is his name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got it.
Sick.
So
It's a she, but...
Right.
I'm gonna make some short little animation with her.
Isn't her name some Jap shit?
Yeah, she's
Tatsumaki, Hitsubishi, Honda, Toyama, something like that.
Her name's Mitsubishi, greatest character of all time, the best. But no, just working on.
I do
on learning more 3D stuff. It's interesting because I was watching a Gaming Brit video yesterday because Digi's like, you should watch the Gaming Brit, and then I marathoned all his videos because he's literally my taste in gaming. I'm like,
that's true.
This is my guy. So I was watching something.
I was
on
just
Ratchet
shocked you've never seen him since he's literally been
I
on the
heard
PCP before.
Yeah, and we're friends.
I'd heard of him, and I just never got around to do it because I don't watch review videos anymore, at all.
Sure.
But then I got dragged back into it, so I watched all this
I've just been watching Gaming Brits for longer than I've known of any of you, is the funny thing.
Well,
really?
I guess I just missed the boat. I'm sorry, Gaming Brit. I've made it up. I've given you tons of ad revenue the last 3 days.
Nice.
So I was watching one of his videos on Ratchet and Clank, and I noticed, I was looking at, the ground, because, every time I look at PlayStation 2 games, I'm kind of, deconstruct them now. I noticed the ground plane had, repeating tiled textures for the grass, but then it had, random patches of dirt. I wonder how they did that. So it took 3 hours. And I figured out how to do it, and I posted a GIF of it working. You can just mask in other patches of a different texture on the same material, and it was fucking sick. And I felt like a god.
Tom, one criticism on your work. Sorry, Ben. It's just Mitsubishi the raccoon. The problem with her is that she doesn't have enough gender signifiers. Might I suggest a big honkin' pair of titties? That's my helpful suggestion.
Okay, I got to give the porn artist something to work with.
I wanted to ask. So you did some of the modeling on the Runaway from Snakes Pump game, right?
I did Pump. Yes.
You just did the character model.
I did the character of Pump, yeah. I did
okay.
That.
Did you do her animations or?
I did not. I said that I could because I didn't even rig the character because I was talking to Hippo about it like almost 2 months before the game came out, and I was like, "Do you want me to rig it up or anything?" He's like, "No, just make the model," and they were gonna take care of everything else. I'm like, "Okay," so it was pretty simple to do.
On an unrelated note, I have a shot glass of my urine here. And I am going to dip my keto stick as we speak. And I will tell you, in about 15 seconds, I will tell you all the results.
When did you produce this?
I went to the bathroom. I had my wireless headphones in.
Oh, God.
Shot glass.
I'm glad.
What is with the presence of piss in the PCP?
Yeah, with Munchie not here, someone else is carrying on the piss legacy.
You could pronounce
P
the
twice
PCP
in the name.
as psp.
Yeah.
So.
I guess so.
Oh, no. Guys. It's not as purple as last time.
Oh God!
I would call it a medium pink. Oh God!
Well,
it's over.
What a fail!
It's all over.
Man, I don't understand why, if you were on keto, you would ever consume any carbs whatsoever.
Well, you don't. I mean, I'll eat peanut butter, which has a couple grams in it, and that's
it's tough to avoid.
Yeah, veggies have some in them. You just keep it really low.
Listen to this question though. This is from Spicy Salts in the Discord, who says, "I'm trying to make a video game called Ultratopia, but I have no talent, skill, or patience to make it. Any tip.
Kill yourself.
So stop. I think he has the name and nothing else is what I'm understanding here.
Wait, no talent, no skill, no patience. Get fucked, dude. Get fucked.
Well, somebody else responded with the even better answer, which is find people who have those and pay them a lot of money.
That makes sense.
Well, I'm assuming he probably doesn't have money either. I've got
that's a fair
shooting suspicion. Either get money or get those other skills you said you don't have. That's what I'm working on right now.
Not having the patience is what tells me that this is a lost cause.
Yeah, you got to start meditating or something, dude. You got to get your headspace in a better place.
Patience is crucial to this. You're playing a long game here, buddy. Yeah. It's a long game.
So Eric C. Bass asks, how many days before you die do you plan to stop making art and start enjoying life? Literally the moment I get rich. I will not...
Oh my god!
I mean,
I hate
Jesus
that answer
fucking
so
Christ.
much.
You'll get bored though. You'll get bored.
What?
Okay, wait.
It'll take a while for me to get bored if I have enough money.
Well, if you live to be fucking 80 and you get bored at 60, that's quite a few years of terrible life.
I don't need money for anything. All I need to do is live. All I need to do is continue to exist so that I can continue to produce shit.
This guy's question has it all wrong. Making the art is enjoying life. This is what I want to do.
That was what my first thought was. Like at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna give the answer that like all I want to do is make art. But then I was like, actually, I just want to eat and fuck all day.
Oh, well, Jesus Christ!
You go to cool places.
You disgust me.
I understand that. I literally don't care about those things and would be happy to give them up forever for more productivity. Because I'm a machine that loves to work and nothing else. That's how I feel.
Thank you.
I mean,
I like
eating.
chilling.
I'm just gonna say, eating's boring. Eating's boring, and you know what? You know what? Fucking's boring.
What do you? How can?
I'm post food. I'm post food. I'm ordering Hume or whatever it's called right now. Huel.
It's human fuel.
I mean,
that's what it's short for.
Exactly.
If I
these macros look great.
I think that if I didn't have to actually produce art, I would be content to just imagine art.
Oh God.
You know, like I can just sit around.
The thrill of the chase, dude. The thrill of the chase of working on a project and pursuing it and getting it done, whatever it's
about.
To me, getting it done is just like when I've had the idea. That's the big come. It's like, oh, I just had an amazing idea, and then it's
that
like
is one of the comments.
And then it's like, oh, god damn it! Now I have to somehow translate that into something that enough people will understand that I can make a living off of it.
I'm not trying to say that, like, for example, like, I mean, because for me, the second come is releasing it and like having people react to it.
I suppose if I was rich enough, maybe I still would produce art. It would just all be incomprehensible.
The idea is getting a boner.
Sure.
Making it is the come.
Oh, well, I'm not, that's true. I'm not trying to say that, like, I think there's anything, like, morally better about, like, releasing something. Like, I'm just a fucking machine that has inputs and outputs, and, you know, it makes me feel good to get positive comments and upvotes and whatnot. So, like, I'm not saying it's, like, better, but, like, that is a very valuable part of life that I just think engaging in that will keep me healthy and happy long term. More than not doing that.
Well, let me rephrase it, because I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm not as interested in being an artist as I am in like what I could like something that I could do that would be bigger than art. Than like I really want to just build a city. So, like, if I made enough money that I didn't have to do art and I could just build shit or just, like, hire people to, like, shape... I just want enough money to shape the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I feel like with art, that's a way to convince people that they should shape the world. But with money, you just can do it. You could just be like, hey, I'm going to build hey, this thing that I made all this art telling people that they should, like, do this, I'm just going to make that happen.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, it's time to stop making YouTube videos and start getting into the stock market or something.
I mean, I suppose that's true.
I only want to get rich on my own terms, though.
How is playing the stock market not getting rich on your own terms?
Because I don't want to have to learn about stocks.
Then you're fucking lazy. You have the exact same problem that other guy does then. I have all these great ideas, but no patience and no talent.
Well, except I have talent and skill. It's just not in the stock market. It's in making YouTube
Okay, but
videos.
if you have a goal that's not going to serve, then you either need to change your goal or change your skills.
Nobody said it wasn't going to serve that goal, Tom. What if I can find a way to make YouTube videos make me absurdly rich?
I mean, you're not going to make cities off of YouTube videos.
I mean, I think
just
you don't know that. You don't know that.
Even like PewDiePie.
You just gotta change the paradigm.
Okay.
I was gonna like
Nobody's
nobody's
you're
gonna
taking,
be PewDiePie.
You're taking
no one
the
will ever
most
be
roundabout
again.
option to your goal at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's say that there are definitely, like, never mind YouTube itself. Think of YouTube as a jumping off point for just being an artist in general. Much in the same way that, like, celebrities might star in a movie that makes them famous, but because they are famous now, they just have an endless sea of opportunity before them. So, like, and they usually, a lot of them end up doing these, like, high-level ventures and shit because they just start reinvesting the money they already have, and you can just pay people to invest your money for you, Like, you can literally, when you have money, money is a self-propagating machine.
Yes.
It is just something that you decide how much you want, and then you just operate that paradigm that will make that happen. But you need a basic... It's a constant redistribution. It's constantly, like, assessing the money you have, figuring out what you can do with that money to get more money, and then continually putting that in. But, like, to do that in the early days is just boring and gay, and it's all like, I gotta buy stocks. And, like, I want to be past that point before I even worry about it. Like, I want to make as much as I can through just being an artist, and then once I'm, like, new rich from being an artist, that's when it's like I hire an accountant, and then I just, like, tell them, hey, put my money in whatever stocks seem good, and, like, so... Yeah, that's my methodology here. That's sort of my theory behind all this.
Good luck.
Maybe you should have got a cheaper house.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
It would have. I mean, that's like a real short-term problem,
Relatively speaking.
I mean, if your goal is to achieve a critical mass of money, then you got to scrimp. You got to scrimp, right?
Whatever.
Right? Am I crazy here?
No, I don't know where you're going up with that theory.
I mean, the less money you spend, the more you have. But, like, we're talking about degrees here.
Well, the point of it is that you should always be astronomically increasing your intake of wealth. Like, it should never be a matter of, like, I have to save money. It should always just be like, if I need more money, I just need to make more money.
Okay.
You don't want to get lost up in that. I mean, you can lose yourself in the pursuit of money, but
but that's why I don't want to go into the stock market. That to me is losing yourself.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay.
Doing it on your own terms, as long as it's always just whatever you're comfortable with. It's like, like I said earlier,
so it's possible to be in the YouTube analysis game or whatever, and then also lose yourself to monetization and whatnot.
I do not care about money.
I've seen it happen
at all.
Yeah.
I do not care about changing the world at all. I care about operating within this world and succeeding in it with my own effort and my own two hands. And I am glad to be an artist because that is a profession that I feel I can continue to do in a way that is, fun and engaging, and in a way that I can do it on my own terms right up until I drop dead. And that's what I want. I
basically agree.
I just want to, I feel like I'll never be, I don't ever have to become completely obsolete. I hope.
Yeah.
I pray.
I consider it my personal mission to when I die, to be able to look back and say, I brought us one step closer to escaping entropy.
That's the best case scenario, I'd say. Speaking of escaping,
which I think
entropy,
I think all of us have already made contributions to that end. So
I generally
you're all absolved in my book.
Well, all right.
Boy.
But speaking of entropy,
I don't know about me.
Please look at this image that I put in the thing, because I'm having massive second thoughts about getting this Huel because of the sheer propensity of soy boys that are operating with this Huel thing. Look at this guy on the second from the top right.
All I see is the chick with the legs. That's all I see in this picture.
It is.
Ironically, it is the non-soy alternative, and yet we're faced with a wall of soy boys. I don't know.
Look, Nate, we got to take it back. Clearly, these people.
We do it. You know what? You're right. All right. I'm still on board.
Right,
I'm still on board.
We'll do this together. You
sounds
more
good.
than me. You'll be the poster child. I'll be the one in the background adding numbers.
Holy shit, we're at 2 hours 10. All right, everybody. Patreon.
Patreon.com/Ben Sane.
Someone asked, actually,
the Pro Crastinators.
No, there was a question about whether we would ever introduce more reward tiers to the Pro PCP.
That was from
I don't know. What do you guys want?
That's
Tell us
that's a great question. That's a great question, actually.
Yeah. Tell us what you would like to pay more money for. And don't say more content. As long as the answer is not more content, give us an answer of what you would like.
They'd probably like to be able to hear these live when they were recording them.
Here's a really fucking simple solution. I don't know what. What if we like had a text scroll of patrons during the outro song?
I mean, if that's what they want, I just want to know, like, what do you guys like from... What do you like to pay a lot of money for that is not more content?
Or even, what would you pay a little money for if you're not paying a little money already?
Yeah. If you're a patron, put in the suggestions bar in the Discord, you know.
And if you're not a patron, tell us what would push you over the edge. That's the important part. That's the big money right there.
Yeah, because we've been edging you this whole time, and we really just want to push you right over that edge, finally, after all these years.
By the way, quick pity question. Twitter @SteinhagenDylan asks, what anime or manga has been the most memorable or made the best impression on you? None, they're all trash. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast, everybody. Patreon.com/TheProcrastinators. $1 to get in the fucking chat. $5 for those sweet, sweet bonus episodes. And if you are hearing this right now, friends, you've got something coming to you with the new bonus episode, Monsters fucking 2! It's here! Listen to it right now, you child, you baby. Go listen to it and have a great fucking day. All right, thanks for being here, everybody. We'll see you next week with another one. Yeah. Bye! Bye!